All right. It should be public. It should be a public live now, y'all. Come on in. This is Conversations with Ashonda. Conversations with the Shondas. I'm LaShonda, and my partner Rashonda is going to come on in just a second. Hey, Georgina. Okay, so we back on. The live is public now, so everybody who wants to chime in on the conversation should be able to do so now. Please like, tag, and share. Share the video with your friends. Hey, Keela. My day was very, very busy. I think we had told you guys, both Rashonda and I, it's so interesting. Both of us are we work in medical billing. I'm a trainer, and so I do a lot of training, and I've been doing that this week, and it's been really, really hectic. There goes my partner. Okay, you gotta send. Oh, there she goes. There we go, there we go, there we go. Oh. Listen. All the things, Georgina. The new codes, all the things. New systems. Blue Cross Blue Shield right now is a headache. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Georgia for us. Rashonda, send me the request again. It said that I couldn't add you. So for anybody who is just joining us, if you are a new viewer, this is Conversations with the Shondas. My name is LaShonda. My partner Rashonda is going to be joining us in just a second. And we get on live every Tuesday and Thursday, 7-ish. Both of us are parents. We've got stuff going on. Rashonda has some things going on this week. Oh, there we go. There she goes. And my kid is playing ball. So we have some things going on. And so we can't always jump right at 7 o'clock. Especially when people don't start things on time, like volleyball games. All right, there we go. So it's public. So welcome back, Rashonda.
Ma'am.
All right, let me make sure all my day ones back in.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, perfect.
Is Miss Erica back on? There she. Okay. Erica. Hey, Tanya. There she go. I see you, Erica. What's going on? Georgina is back. Keela is back. Keela, I hope we don't be interrupting your rest time, because I know you got to get up and see. We have been, honestly, y'all. We keep saying, Rashonda and I both keep saying, an hour, hour and a half, hour and a half, 2 hours, okay? And y'all, this conversation be getting so good.
We haven't messed it yet.
We be on here for like 3 hours. And we'll even mention it. Okay, we got about 13 minutes. I went back and looked at one of the lives, Rashonda. You kept on saying it. You was like, so we got like 13 more minutes. Okay, y'all. So we got like 7 more minutes, and then we went on for another hour.
When you wanted to bring Callie on, that's what it is.
So it's my fault. It's my fault.
Yes, yes.
Hey, Nelly. Listen, it was so good. Okay, if you want to be in the live, if you want to add your 2 cents on the conversation, you gotta post in there. You need to post in there. Definitely put in the comments, add me, and put our hashtags, conversations with the Shondas, hashtag the Shondas. And y'all, I thank all of you guys who made posts on Tuesday night after the live and put our hashtag in there. So make sure y'all do that again tonight. I will keep my phone open just so I won't miss anything.
Hey, Matilda.
Hey, Mati. The conversations just keep getting bigger and keep getting so much better. Rashonda was telling me that today, and I just thank all of you guys who send us messages individually together and just say, hey, I really enjoyed that conversation. Let me tell you guys that the reason that we're doing this, a lot of people are like, why y'all do that? Why y'all get on live? Why y'all be, talking about these kinds of things? It's because we don't feel like it's being talked about enough. Or if it's being talked about, it's being talked about in a space that doesn't, specifically talk to our community and our culture, right? Um, and we have specific issues in our culture, like maybe not getting therapy, maybe not having access to therapy, you know, um,
Right.
all of those things. So we want to have these conversations, not that we are clinicians in any way. You know, we are licensed people, but not in this subject matter. But we are very experienced people because we have life experience, right? Both Rashonda and I are
Right.
mothers. Rashonda and I are married, and we've been in the dating realm, so and we're raising children with someone, we're raising children, and we run into certain issues. And even before we got married, there were certain issues that you may not have even realized that you had, or different circumstances that arose, and you were like,
This great patch, excuse me, is just about to drive me crazy. Like this great patch. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I keep looking down at it. Like,
look, which one? This one?
yes, girl. I'm like, it won't let me be great. My God.
Listen.
Go ahead, girl. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I just went all off.
No, no, no. Listen, it's something because we were talking about being mothers. I was just at the volleyball game, and when I hear the kids, little girls say Miss Stevens or Miss Shonda, I'm like, yeah, we here. We're here.
Oh, I embrace it, Gina. I do. I do.
Hey,
You
Jeremy.
know, it just looks kind of weird up there right now. Maybe I don't know.
There
It
goes
is what
Bridget.
it is.
Andrea is back. So, y'all, the conversation is how daddy issues affect your adult life. And I will say it definitely has affected mine. I didn't even know I had as many daddy issues as I do until I had a baby, until I got married, just sitting here watching, my little daddy's girl do her daddy girl thing and watch my husband, you know, love on this little girl. And it's like, wow, it would have been nice to have that, you know? And and
Right.
and on a more serious note, when we have somebody like our dads are like our first loves. Our dads are the ones who like kind of instill that confidence in us. Yes, there's nothing
Absolutely.
taken off. It's nothing taken off from mothers who are strong and who speak life into their children and who, validate them and everything. But it's just what you just said, Erica. They are our heroes, They're the ones I watch. My husband parent our daughter, And it actually makes me want to be a better mother watching him, because he doesn't have to do what I have to do to get a response out of her. My husband is a very
Right.
my husband is a very quiet person, a very reserved, meek kind of person. And he just tells her very quietly, don't do that. Go there. Come on. Let's go. And
Effortless.
effortlessly, while I'm over here, come on. Let's go. What are you doing? Don't do that. Over here screaming, getting my blood pressure up.
Yes.
And they just do it with ease. And it's like, how do you do that? How do you make her move when you just be like, don't do that? I promise y'all. Go ahead, go ahead.
No, no, no. I was just looking at what Keela said. She said, my dad is still mine. I love me some Elder Willie. I would really like to hear how that dynamic goes, how a father-daughter, especially in an adult. I'm curious. Are you willing to come on with us, Keela, just for a moment?
Look what Georgina said. She said she said, I got to tell hubby to tell her. Like, I got to tell my husband to tell her to do something
To
so she can
tell
do
her
it.
whatever it is you need her to do. That's sickening.
So you understand what I'm talking about, Georgina. You understand. Hey, Vivian. Viv, can you come on and just talk about the daddy issues, honey? You know,
I wish I could relate to being a daddy's girl. I don't have
listen,
that. That's not my story.
listen. Viv got a daddy's girl, because that little mama is all about her daddy. You can't tell her nothing about her daddy.
How many people are you showing that are watching live? Because the one that I'm live on says 5, but I'm showing 13 right now.
I see 13.
Okay.
Yeah, I see 13.
Okay.
Now let me do from the laptop and let me see what it says on the laptop. The phone says 13. Y'all make sure y'all tag your friends in. It says 14. Oh, it says 14 now. It's 14 people on. All right. Yeah, Georgina says she didn't feel it until she had her. And Erica says she changed her voice um, when she's talking to her kid as well. Okay, Keela, you gonna come on? Well, let's try
All
to
right,
and
we're
let
up
me
to 15 people. Those of you that are on for us, because we want to increase the algorithm so more people can see this. We want this to be very much so inclusive tonight. Those of you all that are on, it helps us with the algorithms if you like it, if you tag it, and if you share it.
yeah.
Can y'all please do one of those 3, if not 3 of those things? It helps us to get more people to view it so Facebook can help build our audience.
Okay, I'm gonna bring
We want
Keela.
as many people to reach this tonight as possible.
Thank you for saying that, Rashonda. Absolutely.
Hey, hey, hey,
Hey.
Hey, girl, hey.
hey. What's
So
going on?
everything. What I hear you saying is that you are a daddy's girl. Tell me about that life, because I know nothing about that life.
Um, my daddy is really my best friend. Um,
Oh,
Hey.
he really is. I can call my dad and really open up about a lot of things and be very transparent with him. It's like a no judgment zone. You know, he
yeah.
allows me to express myself openly. And so in things that I like, if I'm having a hard day, I can call him and he'll pray. You know, like
Jesus.
yeah.
Ooh, wait, stop right there. Stop right there. Please just stop right there. That's good, Keela. Because in today's society, and I know every watcher is not a Christian and I'm not judging nobody, but relationship with God, I think is so essential. And beyond that, having a father that prays, my God, you got it all, honey.
Yeah.
Listen,
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
that's good right there.
So you feel like you feel like your dad doesn't judge you. You
Yeah.
feel like you can tell him anything. Has it always been like that? It's been like that from day one.
Day one. You know, I
Wow.
know we're talking about daddy issues, but I would say that my dad was emotionally available for me growing up.
Mm.
So, you know, that's big for me. You know, if you can hold space for me in my emotions, then I feel like you deserve a deeper part of me.
I just want to
Ooh.
run and shout. I just want to run and shout.
I got to put it in here. I got to put it in here. That's exactly what we were trying to describe when we
Yeah.
were talking about being present and being present. Like even if you're in the house, if you're not emotionally available to your children, what are you doing? That's so good.
Oh, this is so good. Oh my God. I'm so glad you was our first one. Cause you done set the stage, baby. Elder Hagler get the MVP tonight from me.
No,
He
you
get the
if
MVP tonight.
if I can add too though, when I first started my business, I was busy all the time, and I was busy to the point where I didn't have time to do my laundry. My dad would do them for me. You
Wow.
know what I'm saying? So say if I was ready to engage into a relationship, I already like if I was wanting to date a guy, right? He would already my dad already set the standard for that. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you
Yeah.
can't go beyond what you've already been shown in your childhood.
Mm. So you're gonna be looking for
So
somebody
baby,
like daddy.
if you show me
Yes.
nothing, you out in the wilderness if you ain't never see no type of um example
Yeah.
of what that should look like in the family dynamic, you it's almost like you walking blinded.
Yeah.
You are. And here's the thing about here's the thing about girls who are walking, like you said, I'm gonna use your term, Rashonda, in the wilderness. You have no standard. People used to ask me all the time, like, what do you want in a husband? What do you want in a boyfriend? What do you want?
And you
I
don't
don't
even
know.
know.
I don't know. Somebody who like me. You know how many people
Right.
like me, but I don't like them. You know what I'm
Shonda, we excuse me for interrupting. Cause I'm getting more feedback.
okay. Let me see what's happened. Oh, maybe I
Can
can.
you hear me, Shonda?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
We getting some. I'm getting some message from someone that's saying that they can't comment. I wonder if it's because they're not your friend.
That may be what it is. They would have to be one of, or they could either be your friend too. They should be able to comment.
Well, they are my friend, but they're telling me that they can't comment. They want
Yeah,
to
tell them.
comment, but they can't comment.
Yeah, tell them to send me a friend request, and then they should be able to comment. Hey, Shakila.
I believe they're listening. Anyone that cannot comment that would like to comment, you have to go send me or Shonda a friend request. I'm
Oh,
watching my phone for those that do it.
hey, Monet. Monet said she wasn't able to comment. She had to go on your page. So yeah, so we must not be friends, Monet. Let me see.
So with that being said, then those people that are my friend, I need y'all to go to my page or send Shonda a friend request because following you, Shonda, is not gonna be enough. They're
Yeah,
not gonna still probably not be able to comment.
yeah,
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 we do need to change that, Monique.
yeah. And for those of you who are just joining us, we're talking about daddy issues affecting our adult life. We have
Right.
Zoe Hagler or Akila Hagler on, and she's a daddy's girl, but I don't know nothing about that life because I'm not a daddy's
Me
girl.
neither. That's
My,
not my story.
You
the,
y'all know my mama get real mad about that. My mama get hot about that.
let me tell you something,
Wait,
and rightfully so, Keela. And rightfully so, because I'm over here, I be steaming sometimes over here watching them share a bag of potato chips or something, and I'm over here hungry, stomach growling, and y'all ain't thinking about me. Like they just have their own little thing. We got some more daddy's girls in there. Monet, you a daddy's girl too? Wow. Wow. That's interesting. So Keela said that she considers her dad to be one of her best friends. He was emotionally available to her. He just, didn't judge her. She could call, could get with him and talk to him. Even to this day, you can still, call your daddy and just, talk to him.
My
Wow.
dad is really like the calm in any storm for me.
Mm.
Ooh. I love that. I love that.
Ooh. You know how good it would be if you could just pick up the phone and just have access to your dad like when you wanted to? Like
That is so good. Nelly said, yeah, Keela definitely won. Okay. And Erica said, my dad is
wow.
definitely my best buddy. So we got a bunch of daddy's girls on here. Wait, where the girls at? That like us, like the Shondas, who don't know nothing about it. Or maybe we need to get another daddy's girl on, Rashonda, have them tell us
Yeah.
something more that we missed out on.
Yeah, for real. Because I'm interested.
Let me see.
All right, y'all.
All right, thank you, Keela.
Hey, Keela.
All right, let me see. Who else we got, Rashonda? Who wants to come on? If you want to come on.
Monet is on. Monet said she's a daddy's girl.
Monet, you want to
Erica
come
says
on? I'm about to add
Erica said
you.
her mom getting her feelings too, so yeah.
Let me add. Okay, Monet, I just sent you a request. Georgina says he's always been the voice of reason.
Hey everybody, sorry I don't got my wig on tonight. But I said I gotta come on.
Girl, it's fine.
Hey,
It's fine. Listen.
It is just fine. Listen, at least we got hair and edges. That's all that matters to me, okay? No
You
offense to
understand
those
what
that
I'm
don't have
saying?
hair and edges. I'm just saying,
where
No
is
offense.
Carter? Where's Carter?
Carter! Come here, please.
Tell him Auntie Shonda said hey.
He may come in the room. Well, I was actually a daddy's girl. My dad passed away in 2007, but my
Sorry to
father
hear
was,
that.
yeah, he was a deacon in the church, and he was just so amazing. I wish
Yes,
everybody
he was so handsome. He was so handsome. That's the insider.
He was chocolate and all, tall, everything, 6'3", awesome man. He prayed even in college. Actually, he prayed with me every day at 7 a.m. on the dot. He would call me in the morning time and have prayer with me. And even looking back at it now, because of his prayer life, my prayer life is so strong because I knew he was a warrior prayer. And I shared my father with everybody. So like, I had roommates that never had a dad. I'm like, well, you guys can have my father, I'll share my dad with you. Like, I love to share my father with everybody because he was just such a true example of being a real father. My mother and my father were still legally married, but separated. But just no one can say that my dad did anything wrong. My dad, I'll even share the story with you like I shared with Rashonda and when I was younger, my dad was out and on drugs and things like that. And I went to a program and he got himself together when I was 5 years old. I told him life was too short, and he literally turned his life around and never went back. And that I never saw any wrong in my father at that age. But as I grew older, I realized that he would talk to people and say, hey, you shouldn't be doing this, you shouldn't be doing that because it's not right. And what you should do is this, and get yourself in a program. And like he was very motivated to people, and I just appreciate him. And I really wish he was still here, honestly, because he was the rock. He really was. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm all
That's good stuff. No, cry if you need to cry. That's something to miss.
Yes, I'm good. I just truly appreciate my dad. He was just an amazing man. I really wish that everyone was able to have a father figure that truly loved them, that didn't have to go through hurt. Like, it hurts me to hear people say, I didn't have a dad growing up, or I don't know who my father is at all, or, or had to go through any type of foster system. Like, I don't know what it feels like to not have a father.
Yeah.
Now I do because he's deceased. However, I still always will have those memories that some people will never ever get, you know?
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
even I just any man that I know is going to be a father and a true father, he just has to step up to the plate. Those that don't want to, just try to do something. At least try to act like you want to do something, you know?
Yeah.
I
Right.
When
I
you
wish
were,
that.
let me ask you a question, Monet. When you were dating,
Mhm.
did you seek advice from your dad?
So my father in college, I wasn't really dating that much. I was real serious in my books. So by the time I even started dating guys, my father was actually already gone. But I actually
Okay.
think about that, like, you know, how would my dad really react?
Yeah.
You know, of dating people, and I know I tend to date people that are like my dad. Or I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that. I tended to date people that were like my father, with the exception of one or two, which were out of
Yeah.
character.
Yeah.
But also started to be attracted to older men, I guess I would say, because my
Yeah.
dad was older. My husband is the closest that I've ever known to my age that I've ever dated. I will
Okay.
say in high school, my dad was I had one boyfriend in high school, and my dad wasn't strict, but he would speak to them on the side, like, you know, him and my uncles, they would like scare them kind of thing, you know. And I'm like, Dad, don't do that. He's okay, like, nice. And he's like, yeah, he's not nice, and he's not trying to just give you candy and money, and I'm gonna talk to him when you're not around. And I'm like, okay, Daddy, all right, you know, but love me to death, always back. He even taught me how to do money and management when I was a child. I have to bring and pick that back up now as an adult. However,
Yeah.
like he was just so good. He would give me allowance every Friday, $25. I'm like, oh yeah,
Wow.
Come on,
I got
25. When
yes,
you a
listen,
college student?
Okay.
hey, okay. And
Okay.
yeah, I would take my money. I would go share with everybody. When I was a kid, I'll give you another one. In fourth grade, he would bring me and my friends McDonald's to school. Like, you know, instead of having to have school lunch, I appreciated those things. That's why I always wanted to share my dad with everybody. So, like my husband, he's an amazing father to my son, and I appreciate him because I see my father all through him. He's just so loving,
Yeah.
you know, caring, and not even just to our son, but to, you know, nephews and nieces, and even those that, you know, come around us. Like, I appreciate that. So I never had that bad issue. I think you guys were talking the other week about like parents and like someone sleeping in the bed. Like, I literally, my dad had a huge bed, right? So when I would go over his house, I would sleep on one side and he would sleep on the other. And I never saw anything wrong with that. But other people
Yeah.
would say something's
Right.
wrong with it. However,
Right.
Right.
growing up, that was never a factor for me because my father's
Yeah.
never tried to hurt me, never tried to do
Right.
anything.
Right.
So
Right.
my mind would never be like, oh, that's a bad thing, you know? So if I see
Right.
my husband and my son sleep in the same bed, that doesn't, you know, I don't see
Yeah.
anything that would be negative to that effect.
Right.
But other people that have dealt with those types of issues or have had those types of backgrounds, of course, they would be extremely alert and be
Yes.
more protective over children, you know?
That's
But
right.
for me,
Correct.
I am protective over my son. However, I never had that growing up, and my son doesn't have
Yeah.
that growing up, you know? So,
Right.
Right.
but I'm gonna get off y'all
Right.
stuff. You know, I'll
Thank
talk forever.
you.
I'm gonna eat my little raisinets, and I'm gonna read, and I'm listening to y'all. And y'all have a wonderful night. I got
Thank
y'all.
You too.
you.
Good night.
Thanks
Thank
for
you. Good
joining
night.
us, Monet. That was
You're
so good.
welcome.
Good night.
Okay.
That was good.
Listen, that,
So we got a lot of dynamic here, the daddy's girls.
Rashonda, she made a good point. So because I have no standard and because I have no abuse in my history. So moving into my marriage and having a daughter, my husband did everything for our daughter. And so
Right.
there would be some people, even in his family, that would say, you shouldn't let him do that. Or, you know, you like watching her when she was like 3. You know what I mean? He participated in bath time. So,
Right.
but there were people, you know, maybe who have experienced trauma in their lives in that way, like sexual abuse, or, you know, they've had that happen to someone close to them. And so they're thinking that way. And it's
Just like my grandma, just like my grandmother, you know, she had those preconceived notions about what that dynamic would look like for me because I wasn't raised by my maternal father.
right.
So that could be definitely looked at like that. But then it causes you to have preconceived notions about people based on that level of fear that somebody else, you have no identity of it.
Right.
But because they've had that issue, now it makes you second guess.
That's right. That's right. So it's almost like pushing on or projecting your trauma into someone else, you know,
Right.
because I don't
Right.
have that experience. I don't have an experience where, you know, sexual abuse, you know, and so, and then I know this man, and that's not to say that some women whose kids get abused by their husbands, like they don't know them, but I
Right.
know that he would not, you know, he's not even thinking about that, you know, and and just because, you know, certain people were putting that seed in my head, I would check. You know what I mean? Like if they're in there chilling, I'm walking in periodically just to see. But then I feel guilty about that. I'm like, why am I checking in on my
That's
husband?
it.
This man loves this girl. He would
Right.
never do anything to hurt her. As a matter of fact, anybody can get it when it comes to that little girl, including me. You know what I mean? There were
Right.
times like when she was like, you know, barely walking and things like that, and I would just get so overwhelmed, and like I think I was still even, you know, a little bit postpartum, you know, like postpartum depression. I was going through that,
Depression.
and I
Yeah.
would be yelling at her. And my husband has told me on several occasions, don't yell at her like that. You know, it would get him upset
Right.
to have, because he never has to raise his voice. I can probably think of one time in the 13 years that that little girl has been here that he has like, he plucked her. He didn't even hit her. He plucked her. And she was crying like he had, you know, spanked her or something, you know? So it never dawned on me, and he never gave me the impression, like we all know, we've been around what we call fresh men or managed men. Like we've been around men who like said the wrong thing or have given you the impression that if they had the opportunity to abuse you, they actually would. We've been around men like
I
that.
like what Olympia said. I like what Olympia said. Olympia, because I know, but I don't want to coerce anybody into talking about something that they're not ready to.
Okay, what she said.
But she said, I wish somebody would have checked in on me. Do you want to come on and elaborate to whatever boundary, whatever limitations you want with that? Yeah.
Wow. Keila said
And this is why, just leaving your kids, anything could be happening. As we're talking about fathers here tonight, let's be clear. But this conversation could very much so be for women as well. But when you don't check in on these children, anything could be happening.
That's right. That's right. And when you're dating, let's say you have children already and you're dating a new person that's not their father. Yes, of course, I would be concerned about leaving my children with them, until I get to know them, like really, really know them. Like my sister has, kids with someone else and she lives with someone else. But I have a good discerning spirit, and there ain't nothing about that man that would make me feel like he would harm those kids in any way, And I've even left my daughter with him and my sister's kids, and I'll be like, okay, I'll be back at this time. I'll make sure that he'd be like, Shonda, she's fine. You know what I mean? And that just does something. It just makes you feel good when you have somebody who's like, they're gonna take care of your child like their own. But let me see. Are you wanting to come on and talk a little bit, Olympia? You don't have to. Don't feel pressured to.
You don't have
all.
to.
You don't have to. Hey, Miss Celestine. Monet said, right, my dad never hit me in life. I just received a look. I wish the look worked with my daughter. It don't.
The look will work with my kids. The look will work. It will. But I would have to have build it up to them. You know what I'm saying? It ain't always automatic. But if they see me give them that look and they see I ain't talking and I'm ready to cut behind, they ain't lying.
Georgina said, girl, I tell my husband he's her defense attorney. Won't they? They defend them children. They defend them babies. Like, oh my goodness. All right, let me see what some other comments are in here. I want to have a man come on. Is Daryl still on?
Anybody else want to come on, or any males?
Keela said, I believe that some men approach their daughters with softness to create a foundation of what she should look for in a guy. Oh, that's good. That's good. And just like Monet was talking about, you know, a lot of the people that she dated were very reminiscent of her dad, you know? And that's why we need dads, that's why we need fathers in our lives. That's why we need present fathers in our lives.
Oh Lord, here come another
Yeah,
prophecy. You see that prophecy?
I know the video
Keela
is a
say
little
I'm
bit delayed. Do y'all see this?
I receive it, Keela.
Okay, Drea said they're not home yet. Okay, when y'all get home, you let me know. Hey, Tara. I would love for a man to come on and give his opinion. Hey, Hafiza, about this topic and how important we think men are. Hey, Tamika Hodges, are you still on? I want to hear from some other daddy's girls. Who else said that they were a daddy's girl, Rashonda? We got Monet.
Erica. I know Fia is a daddy's girl. I don't know if she'd be willing to get on live, but I know she's a daddy's girl.
Come on, Fia. And then my cousin Tiara, she said, I'm just joining the convo, but I wasn't raised in a household with my dad, but thankfully I've always had access to him. So I think that saved me from having the daddy issues. Right, right. Bernard, Latuan, Matt, come on in. Because I'm going to put you, as soon as I see you, I'm going to add you. Let me see who out here that I can add.
Mm. You know, this is a tough topic for some people. So everybody may not be willing to share or overshare, if you will, and we respect that.
Yeah. I just requested Mati. Mati, come on in.
Amen. She said anointed within the bloodline.
Yes. I was trying to add Mati. She must not want to come in. Who wants to come in and talk a little bit about their daddy experiences?
Y'all come on, help us bring this conversation on through. Those of you that are just joining in, like, tag, and share for us. We want to make sure it reaches more people.
Georgina, I just saw your comment, Georgina. She said yes because you peek in the bathroom to make sure nothing is going on. I absolutely do. You know, when she was, you know, now he don't go in the bathroom. She's 13, you know, so she can.
Matisse said she got a whole perm sitting on her head.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
She said she coming though. She said she coming.
Okay.
I would love to hear somebody else's conversation that maybe even we want to hear from those that didn't grow up with their daddy. You can contribute to this conversation too.
That's right. Yeah. Thank y'all for tagging these people. Definitely, for sure. Tag some more people in there. I love to hear from some people that are like you, Rashonda, who their dad may not have grew up in the house, or they didn't have their dad growing up in the house with them, but they had access to him. Tiara, my cousin Tiara, if you want to come on, we'll bring you on too. Let me see, because that's another aspect. You could have your dad in the home. You could have your dad available to you. Or you could just be like me and just be out in the wilderness.
I wonder if Dr. Shanette can contribute to this conversation in any way. I would love to hear her thoughts on it as well.
Let me see. And I see, I think Erica said when she get home, she'll join. Let me see if my cousin will come on. Tiara, I'm adding you. I think I definitely would have had more. If I'm honest, Rashonda, if I'm honest, I would definitely say I would have probably had more confidence.
Did you say you might have more confidence?
I think I would have had more confidence earlier on had I had, because you guys are talking about like your dad being emotionally available to you, and just being able to run things by them. Miss Celestine, okay, we understand. And especially like when like middle school, like those are your formative years, right? Those are your formative years. Like what is middle school? That's like 11, 12, 13. Middle school.
Somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. So fifth grade, so maybe 10, 11, 12, 13, maybe around in there, because fifth grade middle school.
Fifth grade is,
Fifth grade,
yeah, no. I thought, yeah, fifth is middle school. Fifth is sixth, right?
London is in eighth and she's in middle school. Child, they have it. It'd be so different sometimes. Okay. Monet said yes.
Yeah, I was about to say it'd be different. 5 to 7.
Okay. So fifth grade, you're like 10. So 10, 11, 12, 13, you are in middle school. So those are really like your formative years. Those are the years where you are kind of going to figure out who you are. Oh, Erica said fifth is elementary. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Y'all, I only got one kid. This is my first time going through this whole school process. I don't know what's elementary school and what's middle school. At our school, Rashonda, right? We had, it was preschool through sixth grade at the elementary school building. And then we had seventh through 12th grade at the high school building. So we had seventh graders walking the halls with 12th graders at our school. So our school was a little bit different. And then even now, the new school.
So what is eighth grade considered? Because if it's 5 to 7 middle and 9 to 12 high, where the eighth graders fall in at? Because
Wait a minute.
Yaya is in eighth grade.
London is in eighth grade and she's middle school.
Okay.
Yeah. So I guess it depends on the area. So eighth grade stops
Yeah,
middle school, and
probably.
then ninth grade is high school for North Carolina. So yeah, but still, it's like when you are at those age, you're kind of trying to figure out who you are and having somebody to guide you. So again, I'll say I didn't have like a baseline for what to look for in a partner. You know, I didn't know. I knew some things, right? I knew to keep myself safe. I knew not to, if some boy called me to the car, I knew not to go. I knew not to walk up to the car, right? But just accepting certain things in a relationship, right? And and
Right.
know and knowing what questions to ask and what to look for. Because you kind of want to go for the popular kids. You want to go for, the ones that's being a class clown and the ones that's, wearing the nice clothes and the nice sneakers. Those are the ones that everybody, go for, the boys, right? But,
Right.
maybe having someone who says, okay, no, this is what you need to look for. You need to look for the ones that are respectful. You need to look for the ones that see how they treat their sisters, see how they treat their mothers, see how they treat, other girls, other women, and those are the ones that you want to, partner up with, instead of
Right.
like instead of someone who's very disrespectful.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
I will also say, and I said this, I think I said this on Tuesday, but if not, I'm going to say it again. In my marriage, honestly, I'm so keenly aware of my daddy issues that I want to make sure that some of the expectations that I have are not rooted in my daddy issues for my husband, right? So let's kind of break that down a little bit, Rashonda. What are some expectations that are for a dad versus a partner or a husband? What do we think are some
Mm.
expectations that, you know what I mean? Because a lot of us, especially those of us who grew up without a father or our father wasn't as active as we would like them to be, you know, we kind of we try to find those things in our partners. We trying to we trying to find the places or the spaces where we have lack in our partners. Like I know, everybody says, okay, we want to look for a man that's a provider, that's a protector, and all of that. But protection how? You know, like protection how?
Hmm.
What are your thoughts on it?
From me personally, obviously, I grew up without my dad. And the best example of what I consider to be an ideal father was my Uncle Earl,
Okay, Uncle
hands
Earl.
down. My Uncle Earl, hands down, he was the epitome of a dad to me.
What did he do?
Oh, I'm about to tell you.
Okay.
He was very attentive to my cousins. Um, he anticipated their needs. He forecast their needs. He prepared for their needs. He sacrificed for their needs. I watched this growing up. Um, he lived, breathed, moved, and had his being for his kids. He didn't make any family decisions unless it could be beneficial to his house. Um, I mean, he was so in tune with his kids. I can remember, because he lived in a very ritzy area in Colombia, and I used to love to go visit because of how it looked. He has this big fancy house, and I used to love to go visit. But I realized, like my cousin, I think she got her first car like at 14 or 15. Like
Yeah.
she had a convertible,
Ooh.
I mean, oh yeah, honey. I would love to go spend time with my cousin because they was over there doing it up, honey. And
Hey, Dr. Chanel.
hey, Dr. Shanette. And so watching him, but he had her very sheltered because I can remember me visiting one summer, and I believe my cousin was like 13 or 14 at the time, and we wanted to go bike riding. And excuse me, we wanted to go bike riding, and he wanted to walk beside us at 14. Like he was very protective. At that time we didn't think it was cool, but looking back at it in hindsight, I was like, Uncle Earl is that guy.
Yes. Yes.
Uncle Earl is really that guy. And he made a really big impression as it pertains to the standard of a father. I remember when my cousin got married, he pulled out all the bells and whistles for her when she got married.
Yeah.
I mean, he paid 5 figures for her wedding. Like,
Ooh.
yeah, yeah. And he was very intentional. Like to this day, everything I'm saying, he's still that guy.
Yeah.
And my cousin is older than me. So
Yeah.
she's in her 40s as well. And he's still right there for his kids. Um, his son was in medical school. He financially was paving his way. Um, my uncle was that guy,
I love
is
that.
that guy.
I love that you mentioned that because it actually started to bring some things to I'm realizing some things. So while I may not have had a father in my life, I did have some father figures. And so Uncle Ricky, my Uncle Ricky, you know Uncle
Mm-hmm.
Ricky. Uncle Ricky passed in, it's running up on 2 years. Uncle Ricky passed in December of 2020. So,
Mm-hmm.
um, but even though Uncle Ricky is only like, I think Uncle Ricky is 11 years older than me. So Uncle Ricky was still in high school when I was going to school. He was in high school when I was like in kindergarten, first grade, right?
Right.
So um and people are like, how can a high schooler be, like a father figure? But Uncle Ricky was around. He was the closest man in proximity and probably even, emotionally to me. When I moved to Columbia by myself in my first apartment and I needed to get some stuff put together, like I had a corner desk that I needed to, it was a lot of pieces. I found it for cheap. And my Uncle Ricky came to Columbia and put it together for me. I would even say, and Uncle Ricky even lived with us for a little bit. I would even
Mm.
say my Uncle John, my mom's oldest brother, he was like a father figure to me too, because like there would be times when, when I would need to, like I remember needing to get like a mattress, and Keisha found somebody that would give me their nearly new mattress. Uncle John drove to Charleston, and we went all the way, I think, to John's Island or something, and got the lady's mattress and then brought it back to my apartment. Like you just have people
Right.
in your family, male figures in your life that, come through for you, and that means something. So I don't mean to say that I had no one, but it's a true like father I did not have, but father figures I did have. I did have people that I could rely on. We used Uncle John's truck several times when I moved into college, into the college dorms. He allowed my mom to use his truck to help me move and things like that. So we had people that we could rely on, but for the day to day, everyday small emotional things, I did not have. And so,
Right.
and I really didn't, I thought that I was fine. I was like, okay, cool, I'm good. We didn't have like father daughter dances at Bowman, you know what I mean? So I didn't have to worry
Right.
about that. Um, it's only now that my kid is doing that. Like she had a father daughter dance in elementary school. And I'm like, wow, I didn't get a chance to do that. But my school didn't offer that. And maybe for the reason
Right.
that there were lots of single parent homes, I don't know what the reason that they wouldn't do it, but maybe that was it. So Uncle Earl, Uncle Ricky, Uncle John, what are some other father figures that maybe you had growing up?
I would have to say Mr. Bethay. Mr. Bethay, he's deceased now, but those is from my hometown and surrounding areas may know Mr. Bethay. Mr. Bethay never like assisted financially or anything like that, but he did make a contribution, just like the late Miss Jessie Livingston, Keisha's mom. They invested in me by getting me back and forth to these private schools my grandma was putting me in. And Mr. Bethay ensured that I got to the Catholic school as well, because his daughter went to school there, and also made sure um, that I even got to Felton because his funeral home was right outside of South Carolina State campus.
Yeah.
And some mornings, my grandfather worked on campus. There was some mornings that I had to get dropped off at the funeral home until the school opened, and then Mr. Bethay would just take me on over. So it may seem small to somebody else,
Yeah.
but those people contributed to my upbringing, making sure I got to my education.
Yeah.
My grandparents were older and they needed help with me. And there were people that they picked up the torch and helped.
They stood in the gap.
They stood in the gap.
You know what? And it doesn't even have to be a family. It doesn't even have to be a family member. It can be somebody that's not even blood
Don't
related to you. I want to tell y'all a
know.
story, and I'm glad we're live because I really want to put this out in the atmosphere. For those of us who played sports, a lot of us could confide a little bit in our coaches. And like for the large majority of the sports that I played, it was a man, right? Coach Riley, Mr. Riley. And I'm gonna tell you something. I remember there was a rumor going around our little town about me and Mr. Riley because they people recognize. No, I'm serious. I'm gonna tell this story.
I've never heard that.
Well, I have, and to the fact that I was called into the principal's office because that rumor that could ruin someone to say that a grown man was messing around with a child or a high school student. That man ain't never touched me. That man ain't never been inappropriate with me at
Wow.
all. Let me tell you what he did do. He would come and pick me up because he knew that my mom worked all the time and I lived out in the country. Nobody ever wanted to come out there and pick me up. Nobody ever wanted to drop me off. That man would make sure that because I wanted to play and I was good, he would come and pick
You
me
was
up.
good.
Yep. He would come and pick me up. And you know what? One time, remember my cousin Dwayne, we call him Bubba, he started living with Andrea's mom first, and then he lived with us for a little bit. And so, when there's a new dynamic. Of course, Dwayne is older than me, and I would see that my mom would like come to Dwayne's games, and she would be there for the full game. She might come halftime my games, you know what I'm saying? Or she may show up after we done played a couple of matches in volleyball or whatever.
Bubba was all girl. She was trying not to miss.
Listen, Bubba was a superstar, so she wanted to see her nephew play ball, right?
Yes, honey.
But as you can understand, Rashonda, it would make me feel some kind of way. I'm like, you ain't even showed up to my last week volleyball game. Or when you came after we done played Branchville 2 times already. We got one more game that we might be losing. My mom ain't understand. Now, she did come to some games, but she wasn't there for all. She made sure she was at Bubba's games, right? So I told my coach one day, I said, I don't understand why my mama come halftime our game or she'll miss a couple games, but she'd make sure she'd be at my cousin Dwayne, my cousin Bubba's games. You know what this coach told me? I will never
What?
forget it, and it impacted me so greatly. He said, well, your cousin is living with y'all, living, closer to Bowman, because maybe he needs your mama more than you do right now.
Ooh, that's good.
You hear me?
Ooh, that's good. So you had to do just what who was that on here that just said they had to share their daddy? Monet.
Yes.
So you had to share your mama.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. Like when we talk to our kids, when we are talking to children, sometimes if you just give it to them straight or make them see something a different way, it can totally change them.
The trajectory.
So, yeah.
Yes.
So instead of me feeling those feelings of jealousy or being overlooked and things like that, I'm looking at it like, you know what? I'm all right. I'm good. My grades are good. I'm doing well in sports. He's over here because he was not doing well at his other school when he was with his mama. So he had to be over here so that she could make sure that he go to school, make sure that he graduates, And that coach,
right.
Coach Riley, Mr. Riley, said that to me, and that made sense to me. So then it's like,
yes,
let him live. Let him have
yeah, let him live.
Let him live. Let him have her. Let him get all of that attention and adoration that he needs right now because maybe he needs it right now. You know what I'm saying? And so not just having our fathers, but having male figures, coaches in our lives and things like that, it does pour into you. And maybe, just maybe, that's why my life has gone the way that it has. Even though I do recognize there are some issues, there's still some good that came out of it because I had still people like Uncle Ricky, like Uncle John, like Coach Riley pouring into me to make me be all right in the world.
Right.
So,
right.
if something were to ever, and I don't manifest this or claim this on but if something were to ever happen, I wish that I would have some people in my daughter's life that would still be able to pour into her from a male figure perspective that would, help her along the way in the same way that Uncle Earl did for you.
I was getting ready because I would be doing my Uncle Laverne injustice if I wouldn't bring him up. Uncle Earl is the first person that comes to mind for me because he executed in his own household what a father figure. I mean, he didn't miss a beat. I mean, hands down to this day, even if we may not see eye to eye and everything, my uncle is the real MVP
Yeah.
of my maternal side when it comes to showing and displaying what a father is. The only reason I can't put Uncle Laverne up there to that degree is because he didn't have any, well, I can't say that because when he got married, he did inherit a daughter that actually, my Uncle Laverne was an actor. He was on The Preacher's Wife. He was on God and Light, One Life to Live. He was getting ready to play Joe Louis right before he died. And he died in New York. He got hit by a car. A young girl she wasn't mentally all there, and she stole a car and lost control of it and was getting ready to hit a little boy. And my uncle was walking the sidewalk coming from coming from the gym. And he saw the little boy getting ready to be hit by the car, and he scooped the little boy up and threw him, and he got hit by the car. But long story short, he didn't have any biological children, but he was that uncle that taught me to dream big. You know, I may have never wanted to be on a movie camera or anything like that, but he taught me how to dream big. He taught me that you don't have to be a product of your environment. He taught me that you can do anything that you put your mind to. He graduated from South Carolina State University with honors in their theatrical department. And he had big dreams when he left Orangeburg, and he made a lot of them accomplish. I hate that he had a premature death, but God makes no mistakes. But that uncle was the one that really taught me to dream big.
Yeah. And you need people like that in your life. And even if just by their existence, by them, seeing them have a business, or you see them being an actor, or you see them, striving for something that they want, having a big house, a nice car, a good family, money in the bank.
But I saw the process too. That was a good thing. I got a chance to see the process because he didn't always get in the big screens. He served before he got roles. He actually was in janitorial positions on set before he got the biggest break he ever got. And he was willing to serve before he got big.
Ooh,
and that's good. That's good. So it taught me humbleness in the same respect, because I might be seeking to get to the White House, but if I got to be the janitor to get there, I don't mind serving.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. So you just gonna go ahead and preach then? Because it sounds like.
Oh no, I ain't trying to do that. Not tonight.
Yeah, but that's a good point about representation. Representation is, having people in your life that can show you maybe differently than your environment is, right? Can show you that you can be whatever you want to be. You can do whatever you want to do. You got to just be brave enough to do it, and you don't have
right.
Like Charlemagne likes to talk about how his dad said, you if you don't straighten up, you're gonna be just like some of these people in Monk's Corner sitting up under the tree, drinking beer up under the tree. And I know what he means because, I'm a country girl too, so I understand, like, when you just vibing out in the yard or whatever, you got a bunch of people, they're always coming out, always, just sitting up under the tree doing nothing else. Yeah. What does Keela say?
That's true, Keela.
What she say? God will place you in the door. It is up to you to utilize the space he placed in you. Ooh, you better. You better.
That's good right there.
Keela was also saying the village is important. The village is important. I want to ask this because some of us have, like, you have an adult child. You have an adult child. So we're talking about, you know, daddy issues, but what we're also just talking about is parenting, really. You know, parenting. What do you say is, or is there an age where we stop helping our children or doing things for our kids? Do you think that there's a special age, or is there an age?
That's a great question. Um, my first thought about that would be it all depends on the dynamic. You know, is this adult child at home? Is this adult child on their own? Because that already give me boundaries to
Yeah.
speak into them if they're on their own.
Let's say they're on their
But
own.
okay, if they're on their own, and your question is when will I stop
Yeah,
giving
let's
them
say,
advice?
yeah, let's say, I'm gonna give you a specific example. So let's say your child is out on their own. They got their own apartment. They got their own car. They're working, but you know they kind of mismanage funds for the month of
Mm-hmm.
October, and they need your help. You know, with whatever. Maybe they need to help paying a car payment or something like that, or car insurance
Mm-hmm.
or something like that. Is there a certain age or a certain situation for your children, even your adult children, where you're just like, no, I'm not going to help you?
I don't think I would ever do that. I don't think, now mind you, I'm trying to raise fully functional young men over here. Okay. So, you know, I'm teaching my son about credit. You know, he already knows how to clean, certain things he knows how to cook. He told me just last week, Ma, I ain't gonna never stop calling you for nothing. Like you could be the first person out. So, you know, and he and I have a really good relationship, and he values what I say, but I don't use that as a manipulation either.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I always redirect him to have a mind of his own.
yeah,
And I also redirect him because he's very humble.
yeah,
He's so humble that I'm redirecting him to um if he's not satisfied with something, especially if he's paying for it, he's kind of like one of those kids. Uh, I don't really want to cause no trouble. I don't really want to
yeah,
say. I'll just, you know, he could have been paid for a whole meal. The whole meal could be screwed up. He would rather just not have conflict, take it. And I said, well, son, I appreciate you being in that space, but you need to understand that you're valuable. Your money is valuable.
that's right.
And if you pay for something and you don't like the results of it, because you paid it, it gives you the right to say, no, can I have this?
Yeah,
And he struggles with that. He's getting better. He is getting better. But I understand why he does it. But I want him to have a backbone, if you will.
yeah,
I don't want you to just go along to get along. And so if there's controversy or if you're unhappy about something, I want you to be able to voice it. So that's one of the things that I'm trying to help him cultivate, because he's very laid back in that area.
So what do you say to people, specifically men, who feel like once a boy becomes a man, and you know legally that's 18, that they shouldn't be requesting anything. We shouldn't be giving them no money. We shouldn't be helping them do anything. They got to go out here and stand on their own. What do you say to those people that feel that way, people and men? Because you know, a lot of people, especially those who are only in their child's life financially, like they're only paying child support, they're not actually, what Keela said, emotionally available to their kids or even physically available to their kids. They're only paying child support. So at 18, on their 18th birthday, you know, they write their last check or whatever, and then they have, you know, they're not reaching out to their kid. They're not, you know, and let's say the kid calls and say, hey, dad, I need to get, you know, $100 to help me with my car insurance this month. What do you say to those people who think that 18-year-olds or 19-year-olds,
That's what I really don't like about our culture. It's almost like you can't wait to that 18th birthday to like kick the kid out or
Yep.
something.
Yep.
But that's not my dynamic over here. My grandmother didn't do that to me, although I left home at 17. I left home at 17.
Uh-huh.
And, thank God I was able and stable enough to stay away. I've never had to go back home after I left at 17. But I also realized that I didn't have all of the tools and resources to make me as successful as I would like to have been. So because of that, I want to make sure that I cultivate my kids. If it takes, okay, first of all, my kids are going to be on my insurance till I think 26.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's the time frame I've given myself, and to each their own. I can't tell anybody how to run their house, and it would be my prayer that my child would get out before then, but I'm not rushing him. But in my mental, he's only 19 now.
Yeah.
So in my mind, and he has some really good goals set for himself, both financially and career-wise. So I do give him a gentle reminder, okay, oh, you remember you're supposed to be saving so you can invest in this,
Yeah.
to do this. And so I kind of give him, friendly reminders in that regard. But I want my child to be financially stable, because when you leave, I want to be there and cultivate you enough that you can stand on your own 2 feet. And yeah, you may overspend this month and things may happen, but the goal is for him to know that before I even go get this apartment, let me check my finances. Let me make sure I'm able to pay for what I'm getting, because if I'm not, then that means I'm not ready yet. And it's okay to not be ready.
Yeah.
I would rather you stay home an extra 2 years so that you can get your financial planning together than me try to kick you out just to make it look like you're a thriving young adult.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I want the look of it. I want you to be a thriving young adult for real.
Absolutely. Georgina said, please help me understand kicking a child out at 18. I don't know why we do that in our community.
Oh,
I
yes.
don't
I
know
just
why.
said that. Yeah.
We just be like, you 18? Done. You ain't taught them nothing. You ain't even, set them up for success. You just kicking them out, and then they got to go fend for themselves. How is that productive? How?
It's very counterproductive, as a matter of fact.
And you talk about resources and having the know-how. As an oldest child, as a firstborn, and having to be like sort of like the pioneer of all of the things, you know what I'm saying? I tell my brother and my sisters all the time, y'all can learn from all of the mistakes I done made. You know what I mean? Because I had no blueprint. There was nobody to sit back and say, this is how you do it. When you go to college, don't get them credit cards. I didn't have nobody telling me that.
Somebody should have warned me.
I didn't have nobody telling me, okay, you got a rent payment, you got a car payment, and you got to pay the light bill, you got to pay the gas bill. What else I had in that apartment in Columbia? It was something else I had to pay. I'm working 2 jobs and going to school, having to call my granddaddy in New York every month. Granddaddy, can you send me $200? Granddaddy, grandma, can you send me this? Can you send me that? And I wish I had a blueprint. I wish I wasn't the oldest so that I could at least follow. Can I tell you, evictions, repossessions in my early 20s?
Been there, done all of that.
You know what I'm saying? All of that. For not knowing and for not having like the proper guidance, And so I'm bringing this up because, it all is related, having someone who's been through those things, or at least who can show you, hey, this is how you save money. This is how you put these things, aside. This is what you do with your money. Maybe you take half of your paycheck and put it in your account. Maybe you take the other half.
And my grandmother was an entrepreneur, but she never showed me how to start a business. She had all these other things she was teaching me. She never told me about business credit. She had the recipe, but she didn't pass it down.
Listen, entrepreneurship is so, it's like,
it's almost a requirement. Like, why would you not?
I feel like entrepreneurship in our community is like a bad word. What we teach our kids to go to school, get a good
Go work in
education,
the bank.
and then
If you
go
can't
get a
go to
job.
school, go get a job.
That's what we teach them. We don't teach them about owning a business, starting a business, and maybe for the entrepreneurs, because there are some in our community, a hairstylist, right? Those are entrepreneurs, or a barber. What are some other
But
entrepreneurs?
guess what? You know what I found out through opening up my business and just consulting other business owners? There are some women, and this is no pun intended to hairstylists. Okay, I'm sorry. There's no pun intended to hairstylists, but the reality of it is, now those that may have brick and mortar buildings may be focusing on their business credit and getting things done but even some of them don't have it. The ones that are doing hair in their homes, some of them don't even have an LLC. They leaving money on the table, and they've been doing this stuff for years, but nobody has taken the time to say, if you go get that business credit and you go open up that LLC, this is free money that you can go and establish. A lot of people don't even know you could get a house in your business name. You could get a car in your business name. You can go and get all this funding in your business name, but nobody's telling us this.
That's right. That's right. You would be surprised at the things that you can get with business credit. Just even knowing about business credit in general. I'm in a whole business credit group on Facebook, and all of the things that I did not know, you guys will sit here and think that, those other people, that they using their own money. They not. They using business credit. So being an entrepreneur is not a bad thing. Being an entrepreneur is a good thing. Get you a business. Even if you running it in your home, you can get all
Right.
kinds of tax write-offs with your business even being ran from your home.
And more to come on this, but on the 17th, I'm having, Paramount Virtual Solutions is having an entrepreneurial networking lounge. Those of you all that have your own business, come and bring a digital flyer, a business card, or just show up. Pass out your business information. We're very much so networking. I'm going to have a business credit person on there to show you the ropes on how to get a business credit established. There is a blueprint that is set in place that within 6 months of you following this guideline, you can have your business credit established, and they walk you through it. You have a dedicated counselor, and I mean, that's one of the best ways that you can get yourself started and get a great leverage.
Okay. Do you have a
And
link?
Sean and I, please, we can show you the process on getting that started.
When did you say it was? I was going to try to put it in.
It's an entrepreneur network lounge, and it's on the 17th.
Of October?
Those that come, let me know. I'll send you all the link out. It's very much so informal. It's a meet and greet. You don't got to get dressed in your Sunday's best. You just come out, share your information from your business, tell people what you do. Those that are aspiring to start a business, I encourage you to come as well, because the wealth of information is going to be in there. And those that may want to get started with business credit, let me know, or even sell it as an a la carte for your business. Let me know that as well.
Okay. So it's actually live, or is it like virtual?
So it's virtual.
It's
Anyone
virtual.
can attend. It's a virtual event. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Monet says she wanted, and she did put the date in here, October 17th, 2022. And if you got a link already, Rashonda, we can pin it. That way people can click on it and go.
Yes, let me see here. Hold on for a minute.
All right. I want to go back to some of these comments, because we're gonna actually wrap it up in a few, like maybe 9:30. Let me see. I saw somebody else with a huge note that I wanted to read. Matisse said, not just kicking them out, but some stop parenting them at 18 as well. Listen, that's so true. And that's so good. Like, I think our kids, maybe not that they always are going to need us, but I don't think that you should stop telling them the best way or guiding them just because they turn 18. So that's a great point.
I agree.
And Georgina said, money management not taught in poor communities. Of course not, because they want us to be consumers the rest of our lives. You know, what you're saying was that we are a billion-dollar industry. You know, preying on the Black community, we are a billion-dollar industry. That's why these other communities come and put their stores in our community. They come and put the hair supply store in our community. That ain't being run by a Black-owned business. That's not a Black-owned business. They'll
I
come.
just put the event in there, the link.
Okay, let me pin it. I see it. Okay.
And those that want to come, make sure you click on that link, but also inbox me your email address so I can make sure you have all of the stuff that you need.
Okay. All right. So I pinned the link. So for those of you who are entrepreneurs, and you just need some help, like, you know, getting started with your business credit and getting some information on it, click on this link, and that'll be for October 17th. It is virtual. For my partner, Miss Rashonda Mack. Okay, hold on. All right, Andrea said they finally home. Okay, so let me see.
Great.
Does Daryl want to come in and give some feedback? I know y'all just walking in the door and we done bombard y'all. Let me try to get to some of these other comments. We're gonna bring Daryl and or Andrea in, and then we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Let me see. Erica said, I think I like what other cultures do where the kids stay home until 2 years after college to save up money and have great credit, a big down payment on a home, and a vehicle paid for. That's the way to help them establish a great start. In addition, too many of us have to reach back and help our communities, help our families with their bills. So I had to have a plan to make sure my kids don't have to reach back and help me. I want them to have the best start. You know what they do too, Erica? That's a great, wonderful point. Awesome information.
Yes.
You know a lot what they do too? They invest, and then when their kids become of age, their kids don't even have to save the money because the parents already got the down payment for their kids' home. And see that.
Or let me tell you what else they do. The parent already have an LLC. They'll put their child as an employee so that they can generate income for them so that they can be prepared to get their own. We don't do that for our kids. Oh, I ain't co-signing on nothing for you. We ain't trying to help our kids get ahead.
You know what we do a lot in our communities? We give our kids bills.
Yes, we do. We put bills in their name. Yes, we do.
I can't remember who it was. It was some podcast I was listening to, and they were saying how we're the only culture that we expect for our children to. Now we're supposed to be creating generational wealth. Generational wealth flows down, right? So my kids, my grandkids, my great grandkids, like that. We're the only culture and community where we expect for the children to reach back to our parents and grandparents and our aunts and uncles. We got to take care of them. And then there's nothing left for our kids and our grandkids and our great grandkids. We the only ones going the opposite way. These other communities, they reaching down. They trying to send that money that way for the future. We're looking at the past. So now we got to buy mama a house. We got to buy grandmama a house. We got to buy auntie a house. You know, we got to buy auntie a car. All of these things. And not that it's not cool to help your family. Absolutely, if you got it, help them, but not at the expense of your legacy, right? Does that make?
Keela made a good point. She has that motto there. If you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach a man to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Meaning, I can tell you, I can give you the recipe, but if I don't show you how to get in here and do it, all I'm doing is feeding you for the moment. I'm not giving you some substance and some wisdom for a lifetime.
Well, I can give you something to eat, but if I don't tell you or teach you how to cook, then you ain't gonna know how to do it. Just feeding you. Yeah, then just feeding you ain't helping you. That's helping you for the moment, but actually showing you how to cook is helping you in the future. Absolutely. somebody said something that was so funny to me. I think that was Matisse.
Matisse, she said the baby 5 years old with a cable bill.
Or a phone bill. Why that baby got a phone bill in their name and you know you ain't gonna pay that bill, messing up that baby credit?
It came talk.
Yes. Baby can't even talk, but they got a cell phone bill in their name. Y'all see how we do these kids?
Ooh,
That
Lord.
ain't
Help
right.
us,
That ain't
Lord.
right. So then when they get old enough to where they can actually sign up for something themselves, they got bad credit. Baby got bad credit at 18. I just had a birthday how I got bad credit.
Ooh, Lord.
What we should be doing,
Matisse got everybody.
look, what we should be doing is, okay, I got a credit card that I'm faithfully paying on time. Let me add my child as an authorized user on the credit card. That way they're building up credit. Don't put them on there if you know you ain't gonna pay it on time now. Don't put your baby on there if you know you're somebody who don't pay your credit card on time. Don't put them on there.
It's funny that you say that because I just got a joint call with my son. I'm really trying to help him get to the 800 club before me because he got a greater chance to get there before me.
Matisse,
He got a better chance. That's the truth. Listen.
Matisse got me rolling. Matisse said, them babies got to pay to watch Coco Melon now. Why we do this for our people? Why do we do this to our kids? Okay, yeah, put them as an authorized user only. That's right. You ain't got to give them the card. Just put them on there. If it's something you know you pay on time. If you somebody who pay late, do not put them baby's name on there as an authorized user because you're gonna mess up their credit. Ooh, you see what Miss Terry said?
Well, Miss Terry say, I have a family member that put the electric and the water bill in my mama name. What?
That's always the
what kind of people?
That's always a setback in our community. But this is why, you know, this is truly. I know we're talking about daddy issues.
But they can't owe every light company. That's why they got to do it because they can't get it in their name.
Yeah, and this is why it's so important. Going all the way back to choosing partners, right? Like we can't always do it right all the time, but choosing partners, choosing the person that you're gonna lay down and sleep with, choosing the person that you're gonna have a baby with, like really having all of these conversations. What's your credit like? How do you manage money? Where did you learn to manage money? You know, what's going on? What's your credit score? You know, all of these things. How did you grow up? What's your philosophy on life? Do you want to have kids? Like all of these things before you get all the way in, and now you gotta work so much because you have an absentee parent, or an absentee father in the home, and now you gotta work so much that your kids ain't really getting what they need. And so now instead of you building up your kid, you're seeing them as a burden. You're seeing them as one more mouth to feed, one more bill that I gotta pay, or somebody else that I gotta pay for. So that's why we're always like at 18. Okay, I'm done with you. So I don't gotta be paying all this stuff. You know, I'm leaving you out here for the wolves, and then our kids get in the same cycle that they just got out of, and it's truly unfair.
Same vicious cycles.
All right.
Is Drea did Drea ever comment?
Let me see. I'm gonna add Daryl. Here you go. What's up, Daryl?
Hey, y'all.
Drea.
Hey, y'all.
What's up?
Look at Drea.
Listen, I hear all the time from my cousin Andrea about how amazing your father was. So even though we were on here previously talking about daddy's girls,
look at Drea.
Daddy's boy. Tell me what that was like. Tell me how much what that did for you as a young man.
Hold up. Let me tell my story.
Oh.
Tell it,
Now,
girl.
why Derek can't tell his story first? But go ahead, go ahead,
He
go
got
ahead.
the good story.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. No. So I ain't gonna say I had daddy issues. I had my dad, but he lived in another state. I didn't have access to him like how people who do have their fathers in the house. Um, I do wish I had that because it would have saved me from a lot of stuff that happened to me. I feel like I had a lot of things that happened that had my dad been there wouldn't have happened to me. Um,
Absolutely.
there are things that not even my mom know that has happened to me, you know, from people who were of authority that were
Mm.
trusted down
Yeah,
to church people.
yeah.
And if my dad, I know for a fact, if my dad would have been right where I was at, it would have never happened. And what it did was it made me keep a tight hold on my daughter. Like
Mm.
Aisha could not
Yeah,
stay the night to nobody house. And you know
yeah,
that's hard for a teenage girl, you
yeah.
know, who want all their friends staying at each other's house. She couldn't because
I was that girl too. I couldn't stay to nobody's house.
she couldn't no, she couldn't stay the night at nobody's house. And as much as she hated it, that was just the way it was. So it also made me pick a lot of the wrong dudes. That's
Mm.
God honest truth.
I missed that part. What did you say, Drea?
It made me pick a lot of the wrong dudes.
Mm.
A lot, you know. So that dynamic would have changed a lot of stuff. You grow up with a lot of what ifs, what ifs, what
Yeah.
ifs. So that's my story.
Let me give you a different perspective because I'm gonna shoot your daddy some bail. Here's one thing that Andrea's daddy did that I was a little that I benefited from. Let me say that. Andrea's daddy would send her books every month. I remember specifically Andrea's dad sending her the kids encyclopedia. And these books, they were wonderful. And I'm a reader. So like I told y'all about how my mama used to get those romance novels and I would be in the bedroom like reading them. I mean, that's how I expanded my vocabulary. But Andrea's dad sending her those books every month, soon as she would get one, I want to read it. Especially when we all live with our grandmama, you know? And so I would see that like, man, Andrea daddy sending her this stuff all the time. I wish my daddy would send me some stuff. You know what I mean? Like even though he was in a completely different state, he cared about your education. And that meant a lot to me. So I would read your books because ain't nobody was sending me no books.
Oh yeah,
So I gotta put a
my
pin right here.
my dad did a lot.
I want
He did a lot, and something that my I commend my dad on is my dad was on child support. And even being on child support, I could call my dad at any time, and no matter what I asked him for or how much I asked him for, he sent it, even though he was already paying child support. So I'll never take nothing from my dad, and there's nothing my dad won't do for his kids. That is a given to this day.
Yeah.
And anytime my dad, heard about something that happened to me, my dad is coming from New York.
Oh, for sure.
Like, make no mistakes about it. My dad
Yeah.
was getting a
I
car.
wish I could have that confidence. I wish I could have that confidence.
Listen, my dad would get in a car and drive from New York. If he heard anything or whatever, it didn't matter. He was coming.
Listen,
Wow.
her dad is still like that to this day. When
Facts.
he first moved down here for
Yeah.
good, him and his wife, and Andrea was staying with them for a little bit, and Andrea was still, look, oh my God, oh my God. But Andrea, was with someone else, just, and he didn't play. He would tell her the real, about what was going on. And I love that. I honestly love that because I did not. have that. So yeah, it would have been nicer, right, for if it at least would have been in the same state, or at least, you know, somewhere closer to you where you could have access to him. But you did have, you knew who he was.
Absolutely.
He was available to you.
Absolutely.
He paid child support
Absolutely.
and did even more than just the child support. Because some people will be like, oh, well, I'm sending child support. I don't got to do nothing else but that child support. No. Thank you, Andy,
Exactly.
because LaShonda benefited from you sending your child them books every month.
Listen, he definitely was that. He definitely was all that. You
Yeah.
know,
That's commendable.
no, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. I just wish he would have been there for the protection, because things
Yeah.
that I endured, a child shouldn't have, like
Yeah. For
things that
sure.
happen shouldn't have. And I
Yeah.
know if he'd been there, it definitely wouldn't have happened.
Yeah.
My dad was the type that if he catch you, you gone. That's just it.
Right.
If he mess with his kid, that's a wrap, you know. So I just wish he was just to have him right there for that protection. But other than that, my dad is still there to this day. If I say dad, I mean he gonna be there, and I'm 44 years old.
Yeah.
So yeah, but he got a better story, you know.
Damn, you 44?
But I just want, before Daryl get into his story, I just want to say about Drea's father, because it gives me a different perspective on even dad being out of town, but still making the sacrifice and still being able to do. Because see, remember, my dad was out of town too, but he didn't show up like Drea's daddy showed up. You know what I'm saying? I didn't get that side.
Yeah.
So me hearing that lets me know that there are effort opportunities that could have been had, is what I'm
Absolutely.
getting at.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing about it, but let's not even skip over, like, even though we shooting him some bail, let's not forget about the protection part, because that's important too. Him actually being around, being like even closer in proximity to you would have prevented all of the things that happened to you. And that's important. That's why we need these daddies. That's why we need our husbands to be in our little girls' lives, even in our little boys' lives, because things like what happened to you can happen to little boys too. You
Yeah.
know? So we need we
That's
need
right.
we need them in there, because we're our children are not covered. Our children are not protected when y'all are not around.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Uh, Go ahead, D.
Take it away, D.
Come on.
Well, grew up in a house with 2 boys. I got it, Drea.
You got it in your face.
I don't ever have it in my face.
See what I got?
But my
I
father
see.
was a workaholic like I am. Um, 2 boys in the house. Had a sister. I had an older sister, but she passed when she was like 4 months.
Hmm.
So, but like, you know how I like kids. My cousins, like how Mari and Maya and all them be on me. My cousins
Yeah.
be like my daddy. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, it trips me out now.
Wow.
When I used to see when I was growing up, I was like, them kids do the same thing my dad they used to do my dad. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
he's a workaholic, and him being in my life, like, ain't nothing like him yelling from the fence when you playing on football games. You
Oh,
know what I'm saying?
yeah.
That's why I try to do that for my son now. You know what I'm saying? It might bother him, but when you look further down the road, you're like, oh, shit, my pops was there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I was scared of my father though when I was younger, because you know
Where
he.
where does that fear come from? Because Rashonda and I were both talking about how the daddies can say something to the kids and
Mm-mm.
they don't have to do much, and the kids just like straighten up. But we be over here yelling and all this.
I wouldn't, cause my dad work all the time. Like, I'm gonna tell your daddy. But you know, when you out and doing stuff, you know what's right and what's wrong. Like, dang, boy. Like you say, you got a conscience. No, that's your parents on your shoulders.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I was too scared. Like my son be scared of me sometimes, but he ain't scared no more. But when he was younger, cause if he do something wrong, he gotta look at my face, and I had to look at his face. Shoot, I was what when I got locked up when I had a CDV charge. 20 something. My dad came out there and bailed me out, and I had a look in his face. You know what I'm saying?
How did that make you feel?
Hey, I ain't with that chick no more. But we cool though. But you know, that's my.
You learned a lesson.
Yeah.
Well, Daryl, I got a question. Being that you did grow up with your father, and your father having the dynamic that you saw growing up, obviously you emulated what you saw your father do. As a man, does it make you want to strive to be a good father because you had that, or do you do it because you know it's the right thing to do, or were you cultivated into who you are?
That's a good question.
I do it so he can. Well, I ain't gonna say he. It's a bunch of them, but not. My kids, like I take care of a child ain't mine. I take care of the nieces and nephews or whatever. I want them to see what I had. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be how I was when I was growing up. I might not be able to provide all the stuff. My dad grew up with nothing. My dad from East Orange, New Jersey. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My aunts and uncles, they slept in the bed, roaches, all that stuff, whatever. My grandfather and them moved down here in the 60s, 70s, whatever. After my dad was like almost in college or something or whatever. But he told us, like, he had to walk to school in the snow and all that stuff. He said, what I went through, y'all ain't gonna go through.
Yeah.
That's how I try to. That's how I try to live too now. You know what I'm saying? But I don't want them to struggle or see nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I ain't silver spoon. I had a gold spoon. You know what I'm saying? They say I had a gold. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I ain't trying to let nobody else do that. Go through that way.
So what I hear you saying is that your dad gave you the blueprint. He gave you the blueprint. Even if he didn't consciously do it, he did it by the way that he lived, by the way that he loved on your cousins, by the way that he, worked all the time for y'all to make sure that you guys had things, right?
Yeah, it started from my grandfather too, because he worked. He was a workaholic. He worked till he passed away. You know what I'm saying? He provided for my aunts and my uncles. Well, my aunt and my uncles, or whatever.
Wow.
It's generations.
Yes. And see, and what you're doing, even for your, your nieces and nephews by marriage, what you're doing for them is giving them what Rashonda and I were both talking about with Uncle Ricky, with Uncle Earl, with, Uncle John. You're giving them a male figure in their lives. And not to say that maybe their parents are not there, their father figure is not there, but you're giving some supplemental information.
He's that village. He's that village.
Yeah, give them a different eyesight on life.
Yes.
You don't have to be all in the ground with the money showing and all that. I mean, I live comfortable.
Yes.
And I'm broke. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So
that's how it normally goes. That's normally how it goes.
Everybody think you gotta have cars and this and that, the third, to be successful. Now you just make sure you living right.
Live comfortable. That's right.
Man.
Make sure your kids love you. Make sure people love you. Make sure you taking care of your house. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
That's so
key.
good, Daryl. That's so good. And a lot of people miss that. It's some people that will be out here in the streets, Rashonda. Y'all tell me if I'm making sense. There'll be some people that got kids, like biological kids in the world that they don't take care of, but they'll go and get with a woman with kids, and they'll be more good to those kids that they they'll be a better stepdaddy than they are as a biological dad. I don't understand how people do that.
Girl, don't make me throw something through this phone.
Like how, Sway? How you gonna be a better stepdaddy than you are a real daddy? I'm not trying to. Yes. Okay.
Can I say this?
Go ahead.
Can I say this? Mark don't put me out because he got to be to work at 4 a.m. I'm trying not to be loud, Lord. But how you don't take care of your kids and go take care of somebody else's kids, but let's back it up to that mom, to that woman that's with that man that ain't taking care of them kids. Because what kind of woman want to be with a man that ain't taking care of his kids?
There you
make that make sense.
Not me. Not me.
I don't want you.
Listen,
I don't want you.
Let me tell you something. He's stubborn now. He's very stubborn. And when I first, he wasn't even speaking to his son's mother. I don't play that. I don't play.
My cousin telling all
Me neither.
all Daryl business. But
Now, this was
okay.
10 years ago now.
Tell the truth.
This is over 10 years ago. My son 14 now. So,
Okay.
Blame the devil. Let me tell you something. He wouldn't even speak to her. This girl will call if she need help. You know, if her lights get cut off,
That's my story.
gonna be off too. Are you crazy? I don't play like that. I ain't never been
Yeah,
a person because I know how it feel to be on the other side of that.
that's right. That's
These
right.
type of games. So when she call you, whatever she need, what you gonna do?
Provide.
Yeah.
Provide. Mati, we gonna get you in as soon as we get this so good though. Yeah, listen. That's
Listen,
so we were just talking about that, Rashonda. Remember my cousin Melvin was talking about, in a theoretical situation where, you might have to take care of something at your partner's house because they got your baby. That's exactly
Yep.
what
I ain't
Andrea's talking about.
think like that. I used to think like, if her life's about to get cut off and she dealing with a man, hey, bring my
here.
child over here. You gonna stay with me.
That been the dumbest thing I ever hear.
I'm not paying for no other man's lights, bro. That was
Your
me.
son lived there.
I don't care. That's
Your
just me.
son lived. I bet you that didn't change. Your son lived there.
But she was a good
Well,
man.
you know how crazy that sound? We over here, we living good, and your child over there with his mother, and they lights off, or they need.
But
That sound crazy.
but listen, it's a man over there too, right?
I don't care.
But see, that man ain't obligated to take care of your child.
Boom.
That's the thing.
My son could have come right over here with me.
Yeah, that's the way he had thought, and guess what? Dre didn't think
I was
like
back.
that.
That was some years ago.
Okay.
Hey,
Got it.
praise God, hallelujah, y'all. Woo.
Rashonda, Keela calling us out because we had said 9:30. But
Oh.
listen,
You,
Mati been begging to get in. We about to get Mati in. Thank you, Drea. Thank you,
All
Daryl,
right.
for y'all coming and sharing your story. I
Daryl,
really appreciate it. Thank y'all so much.
from a male's perspective, yes.
Yes. Let me see. Mati, we about to bring you in now.
Hey y'all, sorry,
Hey, what's up?
Daryl, but I had to chime in on this. Oh my God, the people is gonna be mad with me, girl.
I got your back, cuz. I got your back, cuz.
Gonna be mad with me, y'all. But on a serious note, we were talking about how Daryl was talking, and I was just to chime back on what they were talking about as far as how not accepting the child or not taking care of the child or anything of that nature. And I want to piggyback on the comment that I made earlier about how the fathers or even a parent in general just stop parenting that child at 18. They think that these kids have it all at 18. They know it all. So don't bother them. Let them live. Let them learn on their own. It don't work like that.
No.
Work like that. And these kids grow up, and I'm speaking from experience. I'm gonna be very very transparent. I'm speaking from experience because these mothers have to sit here and patch up wounds that these fathers have caused. These mothers are sitting here rocking grown behind children. Look, wounds we didn't even cause. That we're sitting here rocking. Try to be nice. Lord is working on me, God. Lord, I
Pray for y'all.
God,
Pray for you.
I hear you. But it bothers me because I feel as though with the day's climate, and y'all know how this world is now with police brutality and all kind of stuff, like these boys need their fathers. They need them. I'm so sick and tired of hearing men say, I didn't have a father in the home, so I don't know how to do it. When are you going to learn how to do it? When?
How about this? How about do the opposite of what your daddy did? That's a start.
Right.
That's where you can start.
Have that mentality. Some of them are so bitter and so hurt to where they want to see their child go through the same thing. It's just
why?
It's a sick cycle. It's a sick cycle.
It's a vicious cycle.
Yeah. They don't care. They don't care. And a lot of the times, I'm gonna be honest with you, they're bitter. They
Sometimes they can have a woman. I'm gonna tell the truth tonight to shame the devil, because I can't talk about nobody's situation like I can talk about mine. Sometimes the women are hindrances as well. Now, some women want that child to have a relationship with their daddy, but you got some, oh, you ain't taking nothing up out of here. Or when the child called the daddy, the other woman got an attitude, but what they calling for? None of that. None of that. None of that. I'm gonna go and tell the truth. I'm gonna set some people free tonight now. Because if we gonna talk about it, we might as well talk about it. Because see, that's what's wrong with our culture right now. That's what's wrong with our culture right now.
Yeah, beside no man that I know have kids. And you know that they have small children. And you don't ever see the kids come around. You don't ever see the kids come around at all. But you witness every day or every weekend, but you don't never see the kids come around. You as a woman, and I know women may say, well, that's not my responsibility. Yes, it is. You laying up with this man, like, you're not going to make sure he see his kids at all.
Yeah.
Like, that's
for
crazy.
me, that's a character flaw.
Yeah.
That's a character flaw for me. So if I'm with you,
I decided to come outside so I can talk.
If I'm with you every weekend, I know you got kids, especially if they're small kids, but even if they're teenagers, and you don't never be around your child, you don't never be on the phone with your child, you don't never got nothing for your child, you know what that's telling me? That's
see, I know I'm gonna get a call tonight or a text,
Mattia, but I'm telling you, like, that's crazy to me. Like, what that tells me, if you're not taking care of your kids and you say you want to be with me, what's going to happen is if we have a kid together and God forbid we break up, you're going to be doing our kid the same way you doing these existing kids.
Yeah, but they don't see it like that.
Talk about it.
They don't see it like that. But it's just crazy. I'm just curious. It's just, I don't know. There's no way to explain it. And you got
so let me tell you about. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Mattia. Go ahead.
Don't it? Like they wash their hands with it. They just like go ahead and treat him like that because he in my home. He with my family. He don't have to be there. He's with us. He has a family there. I'm like, huh? Let me hush. Lord.
Look, Keela calling you out, Rashonda. She said, "Shot in the car. It's gonna be another hour."
See, right? I start laughing. Keela, leave me alone, Keela. Because my husband was gonna kick me out the house if I kept getting loud. Because he sleep light. I said, let me go in and spare myself and go in and get him up out of here. Because I want to talk about this thing at night now.
Insecurities that are there and the bitterness from the man. It's the bitterness from the man because sometimes you have a lot of people that don't want to be in their kids' lives because they're not with the baby anymore. So and with the child and they discard the child because they're hurt that the baby mama don't want to make one. And then you have insecurity with the females that they're with because they know where that person's heart is really at. Okay, so that's
ooh.
Let me get off this thing here because y'all see looking at me fool up and see.
But you ain't.
But but the reason why I'm looking at like that, got a lot to do with my situation because I thought I was like in that alone at one point in time because I didn't have moved on with my life and you know what I'm saying. I don't want to go too far, too deep, and too much, but I didn't know that. Yeah. You just shed some light to me. That's why I was looking like, because at the end of the day, why would you not want to do for your child? Look like, because we ain't together, look like you should want to do for your child even the more.
It's still hurt. It's that hurt. They can't get over that hurt. I mean, you know,
So
there's
what?
plenty of
So
psychiatrists, therapists now.
I was just about to say, how do we get these men? Because there's bitter women and there's bitter men. How do we get them to get beyond these feelings of hurt? You know,
First of all, we got to get them to be accountable, because for one, they ain't gonna do that on their own. Men don't want us to penetrate them to tapping into their own feelings. They don't want that. They might tap into their feelings in their own way, but they're not gonna be submissive to that area. Not all of them. I ain't gonna speak for all men. But that's gonna take some work on that, because first of all, they got to tap in and take accountability.
yeah,
And that's a stronghold right there.
Yeah, I agree. I
yeah.
totally
Well, listen, I think we're saying, if you are with somebody and they got children and they're not reaching out, y'all need to have a conversation. I couldn't sit around and just let that thing marinate for
agree.
years and years and years.
Can I speak this truth tonight? And I didn't get no clearance from my husband, but I know how far to go, and I got a boundary. But my situation was like that before I got with this husband. He wasn't on speaking terms with his kids or nothing like that, and it was mandatory.
Right,
Yeah,
If we gonna be anything, I need to see you function over there
right,
before
yeah,
we talk about anything over here.
right,
yeah.
right. I don't get
And
it. I don't get it.
and see, we talk a lot about the bitter women, but just like Mati was saying, there's a lot of bitter men out there
There's
too.
a lot of bitter men, like a lot, a lot.
But can I say this? Because I can't speak for nobody else. Some men might not be bitter. The woman is bitter, and he is tired of the back and forth. So he might just fall back and wait till those children get old enough to make a decision of their own and have their own level of communication. And then he ain't got to deal with your bitter behind females that want to interfere with parenting. Because you got those, I know we don't, we women and we don't want to touch other people's toes. But the truth of the matter is, all these men ain't bitter. Not all of them bitter now. Sometimes these women be hindrances too.
So and I guess that's somewhat understandable, but I guess
There is nothing nobody could do or say to me to prevent me from dealing with, talking to, or interacting with my child.
mm,
Nothing.
just
Nothing.
louder. Say it louder for the people in the back.
Nothing nobody could do.
Mm,
I don't care if even if we got to get the police involved, to where when we're exchanging the child, I'm going to still see my child. I'm not going to fall back. What's the fall back?
Nobody would be able to have that level of influence on me. I'm sorry, not sorry. Nobody would
None.
ever be able to have.
there.
They wouldn't be able to
None.
do it.
I've seen it.
None.
Trust me, I've seen it. I've seen it. I've seen it. But whew,
So I guess my question is, how do these young adult children cope with the non-support from the absent parent? Because that could be woman or man.
Yeah.
How does the young adult child that's still trying to find their way in this world with only the support of one parent, or it might be a dynamic where they don't have neither parent?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do these young adult children bounce back from such a thing? Because remember, is this hurt in their young ages that cause them to be non-productive citizens and adults in their adult life from the lack of in their childhood? So that's that cycle we need to be trying to tap into and break.
Yes.
We need to figure out what we need to do, because they don't need to hold a conversation and we ain't trying to redirect it. And Sean and I are talking about bringing on some mental health
Yeah.
experts that are clinically qualified to have these conversations. But ain't no need for us to get up here and have these conversations if y'all not going to execute what the professionals
Yeah.
tell y'all you need to do better.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say to some of it is, we need to find them an Uncle Earl. We need to find them an Uncle Ricky or Uncle John. You know what I mean? That's a part of their lives, so that they can at least, tap in. There's Boys and Girls Club of America. There's mentorship. Even if you got your dad in the house, Like, our friend Keisha Mason has a mentor, even though his dad is around.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. It doesn't have to be from lack. It could just be from a different experience. You need different voices in your kids' lives to, be able to reach them, because there's just something about a man talking to a man, or a man talking to a boy, that's different from a woman talking to a boy.
One thing
Absolutely.
I can say, and I can give the ultimate credit to, is my brother. My brother,
Yes.
Wow.
hands down, an amazing brother, dad.
Yep.
I got to give it to him.
Yes, he is.
Awesome.
Yes,
He
he is.
comes 1,001 folds for my kids, for my boys. You hear me?
Yeah. Yeah.
He stepped
Way to go,
he
Corey.
And
stepped
for my
up.
nephews too.
Yeah, he does. He
Yep.
does. He does. I mean, I give it to him, but I mean, as far as the piggyback on the what do we do? I mean, what do you do? I mean, you grow up with children, adult children, that it's hard. It's hard. Like I said, it goes back to the fact that you got to sit here as a mother, and you got to be a nurse, a therapist, a
Ooh,
doctor, counselor, like
tell it.
it all. And you didn't cause this hurt. So why is it that we're taking on the beatings of that
Yep.
parent?
Yep. Yep. Because that's true, Matie. Like, a
And
lot of times, what a
as cordial as possible to come up with some type of rationale to say, how can we fix this?
yeah.
Right.
I get
Yeah.
the way. Okay. So what else can you do as a parent, as a mother that's coming in, that's pretty much begging, like, help? Can you help?
I think one dynamic to that could be very instrumental and cooperative in this whole dynamic, and I don't know, I can't speak for nobody else's household, and I don't know if this is dynamic for everybody else. I can only speak to what I've had experiences with, but it seems like when that parental dynamic is impacted in whatever way, when both parties move on, and this is not for everybody, I'm just talking about me, it seems like there's almost this understood hatred that's supposed to take place. Why is that? Like, why is that? Like, I don't want to be in odds with no woman that my ex-husband with. I don't need
Exactly.
to be angry with those women, that woman, for nothing.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to make sense, of it, because
It's
I can't think of no.
bad enough that you have children or a child or whatever that you have to help get through this situation, and then over here you got to wait for somebody to grow up.
Come on through here. You better talk about it.
Now that parent that's struggling with that child got two battles. You know, they're trying to get the child together, and they're over here trying to wait for somebody to grow up.
Yep.
So I mean, what are you left to do? What is that child left to do? Because now they're stuck in the middle of a mother that's, or whatever, whomever has custody of that child. They're trying their best to do their part, but here it is, you got another parent that just like wipe their hands with the child, like the child haven't even done anything. That's the problem.
Yes.
So
And it might be.
But see, the child is the dynamic. That's the point I'm going to get back to again. How can you take the child out of the equation when the child is the darn equation?
Exactly.
Because they want to be free. Like Matisse said, if you ain't grown up, and realize that the main thing, like you always say, Rashonda, the main thing is the main thing. The main thing is the child. If you haven't figured that out, that your absence, your presence, or that your absence, that your disconnection, your disengagement, all of that is impacting that child, because you want to blame it on this person moving on, or you want to blame it on the fact that my baby mama bitter, so I always got to deal with her, but you're not putting the child first.
Right.
You still not putting the child as a priority. You still making up an excuse. And I truly believe in my heart that it don't really be that. They just want an excuse to not be there.
Yep.
That's what it is. They want the at the first opportunity to not have to do the work
Right.
on themselves,
Right.
or
That's it.
or to be held accountable for mistakes that you have made, or even just being held accountable for financially being responsible for your child when they're living with somebody else. That be the main things too. They're gonna wipe all of their hands because they don't want to be financially responsible, or they just want to be free. See, the women, we don't have that opportunity in a lot of cases. We don't have the
Can I
opportunity.
say this? Can I say this? These men want us women to show up whole and healthy, but it start with us as children. I'm about to talk about it tonight. I'm about to
Go
set us
ahead.
all free. I'm about to set the captive free. They want the women to be whole and healthy, but the reality of it is it start back in our childhood. Show up as the man you need to be so that when you get to the wife stage or when you get to the husband stage, you got somebody that has the capability to be healed, to be set free, to be delivered. But right as it pertains to the vicious cycle that we in right long through here, we gonna keep having unhealed marriages because we having unhealed and broken houses growing up.
Yes.
Ooh,
And
gee.
nobody wants to take accountability.
Yep.
Everybody wants to point the finger at this one and that one. Well,
If
if she would have been
all day,
more amenable, if she
if
didn't argue with me, yeah, I missed the child support payment, but she shouldn't have said nothing to me about missing that child support payment. She should just deal with whatever I give her. Whatever I send her should just be good enough. The fact that I showed up it at all should just be good enough. The fact that I'm here should just be good enough. The fact that I do anything at all should just be good enough. No, it don't. And no, we don't.
No, no, the devil is the biggest liar.
biggest, it's sad.
Thank, thank you, Mati, for joining the live.
You're
Listen,
welcome. We're gonna pray for
Ooh,
those
girl,
souls.
that was good, T.
Pray for those souls.
yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, always, every
And
day.
pray for holy water.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mati.
All right, T. Good
Good
night.
night.
Lord have mercy.
Because I'm trying to understand. Y'all want us whole and y'all want us healthy and y'all want us healed. But how can we show up in that? We got to go and have our own. We got to go have our own therapy sessions and sit down with a counselor about our life from our childhood here before we can even show up whole as who we as who they want.
It just, oh, Rashonda. Now, what done happened to my friend? Let me add her back, y'all. She might have done dropped the phone. Y'all know she in the car.
Hey,
Okay. There she go.
my
What
bad.
happened?
Girl, my tablet fell and I think I hit the button to get out.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm telling you, just as well as these men want whole women and want us to be healed, we want to be healed too, but we need y'all to show up.
That's right. That's right. But I don't even think that they even thinking about it. They just want us to accept whatever they give, and they just think that we should just be like, whatever you give is at least it's something. No, we don't have to accept whatever you give. No, we don't have to just say, oh, you giving the bare minimum. No, that's not good enough. You need to do this and this.
Right.
You see, Keela. She said,
Can
can
y'all
y'all?
let me do the benediction after y'all and preach? But look, we ain't telling no lies up in here tonight now.
Yes. Let me scroll back, and then we really gonna get off here. Hey, Dodie. Yeah, I see people giving my brother-in-law his kudos. He is an excellent husband and father. I'm telling you, my sister, all right over there. Um,
That's a blessing.
Keela says she's a youth advocate and relatable to the youth. Um, ooh, when we were talking about how the adult children are coping with it, they're smoking. Keela said they smoke through it, have sex through it, and get in trouble and a lot more.
Matisse said, y'all ain't got the people inboxing me. Jesus.
Listen, Mati, you was the one in the comments talking about, please, Lord, add me, add me. Oh, Keela, there goes your mama.
Hey, Miss
Brown.
Brown.
Quintilla Brown is on the live. There goes your mama, Keela. Y'all leave Mati alone. Get out her inbox. Leave her alone now. She done spoke her truth. That's it. That's all.
Well, look, if they on that inbox, they done been on this video. Y'all could have commented under that video.
Right. Maybe, look, maybe there's an opportunity for some people to pull up. Like you say, Rashonda.
Oh, I didn't even think about the people pulling up. Maybe it is somebody trying to pull up. It might be in something now. That would be a good thing.
Miss Terry, I see all of your comments. You're right. Serial buttholes. Yep. Infidel. Just like a lot of people will definitely blame it on the other person when it really is them. It really is just them. They don't want to. Okay.
Keela giving us a benediction.
All right, y'all. We appreciate y'all coming on, joining us every single Tuesdays and Thursday. Y'all know we are mothers, we are wives. Like y'all see my husband back there getting him something to eat, Lord, because he done been playing softball and everything. We're gonna get off of here, but I want to make sure that you guys do post about these lives. You can, make a post about some of the things that we talked about on here. We're gonna have a different topic next week. We want you guys to stay tuned with us. Stay tuned every Tuesday and Thursday, 7-ish. So we're going to say 7-ish. We usually try to get on right at 7 o'clock. But, if we get stuck at volleyball games and things like that, it might not be right at 7. But look for both of us, one or both of us going live. Rashonda will usually go live on Tuesdays, and then I will go live on Thursdays. So it is imperative, in order for you to participate in these lives, like meaning you can comment, you do need to be friends with the both of us. Because whichever night it is that we're going live, we're going to, try as much as possible to, make the live public so that everybody can view it, but not everybody is going to be able to comment on it. But if you had something that you didn't get a chance to say, if you have something that you really thought was going to be impactful, or think that it's going to be impactful to the conversation about daddy issues affecting your adult life, go ahead and post it and just tag us, tag Rashonda Mack, tag LaShonda Stevens. I actually got my name spelled right now on Facebook. So you can tag the both of us and use the hashtag also, hashtag the conversations with the Shondas, hashtag the Shondas. You can use that so that we can track all of those conversations that people are having. Because believe it or not, there's lots of people that feel the way that you guys do, and they just may not know that there's a conversation like this being had by non-clinicians, just regular people doing their everyday lives, bringing their everyday, experiences to the conversation. And this is something that I feel like we don't do enough. We don't talk about these things enough, or at least we don't talk about it enough in a public space. We talk about it amongst each other when we, are in our friend groups. We talk about it, maybe at the kitchen table with our closest and dearest friends and family members. But sharing these types of things in public can, make somebody know that they're not the only one going through this. They're not the only one feeling some kind of way about the fact that their kid's father, their kid's mother is not being participatory or not cooperating. I know a lot of people didn't like Kevin Samuels, God bless the dead. Y'all know he recently passed. And, a lot of his sentiment, I will say that one of the things that he used to talk about is men just want cooperation, right? And so when you're doing everything that you can, when you are doing when you're doing everything, Mati, I see you're coming. When you're doing everything that you can, when you're being cooperative, and they're still not doing that they need to do, they're still not engaging, they're still not interacting, they're still not being the person that you need them to be, or that even the child needs them to be. Because let's take our own expectations out of it. You not being what the child needs you to be, it could be problematic, and it could be stressful, just like Mati was talking about. It could be, a struggle trying to bring somebody up when you got a uncooperative parent, or somebody who just simply don't want to hold themselves accountable to this commitment of having children. What would you like to say? And we're going to wrap it up, Rashawn. What would you like to end about this conversation?
The takeaway I could get from this, we've had 2 nights of how my father, what was the topic? How my daddy issues affect my life, of my adult life. I think some of the takeaways that we can pull from this, because yes, we want it to be a conversation. And just like I said Tuesday night, we're not having these conversations to uproot feelings and to cause calamity, but we are uprooting these situations in hope to plant new harvest. You understand what I'm saying? Plant new seed. Plant new seed.
That.
Yeah, we're uprooting because it's time to plant new seed. And if you don't want to reap the harvest that you've been reaping with unproductive seed, it's time for you to change your seed. So now we're giving you the opportunity to change your seed. And with that, changing your seed could be changing your level of communication. Changing your seed could be opening up the door for communication if some of you not having communication. Some of that seed could be mending old wounds that have been, tossed to the side.
Putting your
Planting
ego
new
aside.
seed. Huh?
Putting your ego aside and just mending.
Putting your ego aside. Yes, putting your ego aside. Some of that changing the seed could be mending that relationship with that baby mama or that baby daddy to be able to make room for co-parenting so that the child can see a productive, fruitful, healthy parental relationship. You don't got to be the best of friends, but you should be amicable for the relationship of the child.
Yep. May I submit?
Huh?
No, go ahead. Finish your thought.
And I'm just going to say, if you keep the main thing, then all you doing now is your rework, because the child is the common denominator. You're gonna change your seed so that your child can now see productivity, fruitfulness, communication, effective listening, because don't walk into this relationship or conversation guarded, thinking that, well, what my way was, I know what I did when you was a child, and why I did what I did when you was a child, but I don't know. So you need to enlighten me. As a kid, I need to be in the know. I need to have that privy information so that I can make my informed decision as to whether or not this is going to be fruitful, this is going to be productive. But it's time for us to change the seed. The seed got to change.
You said planting new seeds, right? I love that. That's an amazing way to put it. But may I submit, as a gardener,
yes,
in order to plant a new seed, you're going to have to disrupt the earth. You're going to have to disrupt the ground. You're going to have to disrupt the soil in order to get that seed in the ground. That's what you have to do. So it's not going to be pretty. We can call it pretty. We can try to make it nice names and all of that. But when you're planting new seeds, you're going to have to disrupt. It's going to be some disruption. It's going to be some disruption on your existing way of thinking. It's going to be some disruption on the way that you were previously communicating. It's going to be disruption to your ego. It's going to be a lot of disruption. So if you ain't
you're going to get uncomfortable.
Yes. So if you thinking that you doing something new is not going to cause some uncomfortability, some
Right.
disruption,
Right.
you listen, that ain't what life is about. You're going to be sorely mistaken, or you're going to be missing out on some prime opportunity to connect with your child, connect on a deeper level, and even just create in them a stability, a confidence, a just a person in them, or just the best word is stability in them, really, is
Yes.
what it is, that that they wouldn't have had you not been there. So be
And
there, whether you're
may I
so
submit this? And while you're doing your due diligence, because don't expect everything to be peaches and creams, because remember, some of this stuff is old trauma, old resentment. So while you're digging up your old, unproductive, unfruitful seed, you may not even get the harvest you're seeking at first, because
yeah,
because that child, or even that parent, that custodial parent, may have built up resentment because you took so long to come plant the new seed.
yep,
Okay, so
yep,
you got to be mindful. You got to be mindful that when you are uprooting these seeds to replant more seeds, that you may have to be inconvenienced. Everything might not work out. The children may not even be so receptive to you
yep.
coming around. But don't
Push
stop, because
forward.
that child,
That's right.
push forward.
Push forward. Don't stop. Even if you get a stumbling block, even if you got somebody sitting here trying to be disruptive to your efforts to connect, engage, and interact with your child, push forward. There is no excuse. There is no excuse.
Yes,
I don't care
none,
what. I don't care what.
none.
You say you trying to keep the peace in your house, but you're not trying to interact with your child. You ain't never going to be peaceful unless you make it right with your
Mm.
children. Until you do right by them kids, whether they're grown or otherwise, your life ain't going to be fruitful. It's always going to be someone missing. It's always going to be something missing.
Mm.
Listen.
Boy, we kicked the door in on that ending. We kicked the door in on that ending.
Listen, I thank y'all so much for joining us. I know it's been another almost 3 hours, Rashonda.
Well, we've been getting better. At least we're announcing we're gonna get this one, and we're gonna see it. Listen, we working our way up.
Yes, yes. I want to say this, and then we really gonna get off of here, because Keela done called us out. She said Rashonda done got in that car. We're gonna be another hour. No, we not. We about to
Yes,
get
she
off
did.
right now. We about to get off. um,
And look
the
at
Bible
Erica.
says.
Erica, we can stay on. No, Erica.
The day one's gonna be here. The day one's, Erica,
Mm-hmm.
y'all gonna be. I just want to say, the Bible says, honor thy mother, thy father, so that days be long, right? And people
Amen.
often take that out of context, because it also says, don't be out here harassing your children. Or you really, the thing is doing right by your kids as well. But see, we'll use that thing as, oh, you got to honor thy mother, thy father, so you got to be the one running behind me. Like I'm a child and I got to run behind my daddy, or I got to run behind my mama to have a relationship. What about you not stirring up those kinds of trauma in me? What about that?
Mm, mm,
People skip over
that's
that part of
good.
the Bible. People skip over that part of the Bible, and they just think that, oh, we just blindly, honoring and mothering that. Like, no. This communication is cyclical. You
Yeah, but
say
it
something.
also, I can't remember the scripture, but it also talks about the parent not doing that, to the child either.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I wish I could
Yeah,
remember it word for word, but
me
that's
too.
what it's talking about. That's what they're talking about. And see, we'll use that saying about honoring thy mother and thy father in a
That's
manipulative
it
way.
right there, Gina. That's it. Do not provoke your children to wrath. That's it.
That's it. That's it.
That's it.
That's it. That's it. That's it. Oh my
That's
God.
it.
Thank y'all. See,
Thank you.
look, I love y'all, Georgina, Erica, for knowing the listen. I couldn't
Yes.
think that's what it
Thank
is.
you, Miss
Miss
Terry.
Terry,
Thank
thank
y'all.
you. Yes. People mix that thing up and they think that that kids should just be like, I'm honoring you as if y'all kings and queens, but if you ain't acting like a king and you ain't acting like a queen, these kids don't have to honor you if you out here provoking them to wrath. Do what you gotta
Talk
do. Take
about it.
care of your kids. You know,
Talk
because
about it.
oh my God, it's
Talk about it.
okay. Keela said she done got stirred up. Y'all done got me stirred up. My husband at home.
Y'all,
Listen, they do, Erica. The parents have to be in the Lord, and if you're not, and you just blindly out here quoting scriptures out of context, that's manipulation. That's
all day.
manipulative, and that's not
All day.
that's not the intent of that. That's not the intent of that. So anyway, we promote therapy. You guys, Rashonda and I both, are participants in therapy. We say all the time that therapy has been getting us through. It's given us an opportunity to find different ways, like you said, planting different seeds to
Right.
be able to walk through life, whether that life
Right.
is with raising children, being in a marriage, having a partnership, even in our business lives.
Absolutely.
I think we take more care, Rashonda. I think we take more care in our business lives and in our entrepreneurship when we're relating to other people than we do in our personal lives. We take care to make sure we don't offend our supervisors and our bosses and our coworkers and things like that. But when it comes to your children, when it comes to your family members, when it comes to your friends, we are less sensitive. We are
Come
less
on. Talk about it.
we, we don't take that much care. We don't care how we talk to them. We'll hurt the people that are closest to us. And for
They should
what?
be our priority. They should be our priority.
Yes. Yes. So I want us to flip that thing. While we got so much reverence and so much grace and so much tact for these
Come on.
supervisors and managers and directors and people that supposedly above us, when the people that are responsible for making sure that we get buried versus cremated, or the people that we entrust to make sure that the hospitals don't turn our stuff off when we elected to keep us plugged up, whatever it is, or don't keep
Your
us plugged
DNR
up.
status.
Yeah, yes. Why we doing none the worse? Why we gotta do it like that? Why we gotta hurt these people? Why we gotta be giving them the business? We should be giving these other people the business. We should be
But you
making
know
them.
what that come to, that come back to that. I don't even want to go there. But it's about that slave mentality. I just want to leave that right there.
You just said it. You just said it. That's exactly what it is. We have
Yeah.
we have more we have more reverence and more grace for our oppressors than we have for the
Mm.
people that
Girl.
live in and around us. Why do we do that? Why? Why? Huh? Let me get off this line. Let me get
Yeah,
off of here.
we need
Okay?
to exit stage left on that note, because I'm gonna tell you that right there just took me to another level. Oh Lord. Jesus.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Miss Terry said calling the child out of the bedroom to give you the TV remote control sitting on the couch 2 feet away. Yeah, we treat our children like they are slaves.
That used to be me now growing up. I used to have to do that now.
There is something called intersectionism or intersectionalism. What is the word, y'all? It's almost 10:30 at night.
What was it?
I'm gonna
What
find
is?
the word. We're gonna end this. I'm gonna post something after this about it.
Okay.
And it is that dynamic that basically is like, we've been oppressed, and a lot of us want to be the oppressor. And so we see that a lot. We have been oppressed, like our elders, our ancestors have been oppressed, and a lot of us want to live like the oppressor instead of seeking to be better.
But you know what though? Ain't no one to live like the oppressor. Some of us are living like the oppressor because all you got to do is give them a little managerial position somewhere and make them feel like they. I'm gonna talk about it tonight. Make them feel like they somebody, you know, a little bit. They get a little authority under their name or under their belt, or get a little credential behind their name. And baby, don't mess around and let them have a little brown or a little black on their skin. They get beside themselves.
Intersectionality is the word that I was looking for. That's what it is. Yes, the interconnected nature of social categorizations such as race, class, gender, as they apply to the given individual or group, regarded as creating overlapping and interdependent systems of discrimination and disadvantage, right? Interconnected systems of discrimination and disadvantage. We're already oppressed. We already have all of these things working against us. And then we create the same dynamic in our families. We create the same dynamic right around us. It's
we
insane.
Do. It's a vicious cycle. But my thing is this. Now we got to go back to our own words. We've identified the problem. We've identified many problems through these conversations. How do we get to a place of commonality to get to the conflict resolution? And it gotta be each one reach one. It gotta be in sync, and it gotta be in each household. Like there's too much good information that is obtainable in these conversations that we can apply to our lives. We need to do the work. That's it.
That's right.
That's it, Kayla.
Do the work.
We need to execute. It's time for execution.
And part of the work is what we're doing right here. Part of the work is identifying and acknowledging our traumas and our issues. Daddy issues is one of them. And no, we don't have to sit there. We don't have to sit in that thing like we were talking about.
That's it.
Yea, do I walk through the valley of the shadow that I walk through. I'm not going to sit in that thing.
I'm not
going to sit in
the
valley. Yeah, I'm not going to make a bed and lie in the valley. You know, you just got to recognize that you're in the valley and go on through that thing, right? You know, and you're my friend Rashonda, you are consistent. This is what I love about you. You're very consistent in your messaging. And your messaging is, yes, we got this issue. Let's acknowledge it. You're right. Let's do that. But then let's go to resolve. How do we resolve? And some of it is you really do have to, you know, do the work on yourself. And that work might require you reading some books. That work might require you getting in some therapy. That work might require you actually having conversations with your children and finding out how they feel about some things. That may require you having a conversation with your family members, having a conversation with your husband, having lots of different conversations that would and having the conversations without being defensive, having the conversations without being what's some other things that we might be when we're trying to have, being open to the conversation.
Offensive, you know? being offensive, because we get offended a lot of times when somebody show us. You know, we get offended, you know, offensive rather. We feel offended when somebody calls us out, if you will. You understand what I'm saying? And it could be depending on the delivery. Because you come to me any kind of way at the wrong day, I might not be so, you know, receiving. But my intent is always to be able to be reprimanded. So we need to figure out how we're going to rework. Because some of this is rework for some people. Some of this is actually rework for some people. So go back to the drawing board. You don't want to go back and do what you already done, because obviously if you're still in a bad place, that didn't work. You got to plant new seed now.
Y'all, I'm trying to go to sleep. I'm trying to go to sleep, but y'all got me up right now. Hey, I love we were Shawnee in that car now. She turned up a whole nother notch.
My husband won't let me be great because he trying to go to sleep.
That man said he got to work in the morning.
Yeah, girl, 4 a.m. I'm gonna be dead to the world. I ain't gonna know nothing about
But
it.
you know, y'all know the work is so uncomfortable, and I
That's
think
right.
people try to run
People,
from that.
Keela, people want you to tell them so bad that all the work you do is going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Do you think it was easy for me to hear somebody tell me, well, maybe you should treat your husband like a partner and not your daddy?
Mm.
Do you think that was easy for me to hear?
Ooh.
Do you think that was easy for me to like take that into my brain and like marinate on that? You know, I could have been easily offended by that and defensive about that. No, 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 no. They say, men are supposed to be protectors and blah, blah, blah. But did he sign up for that?
Mm-mm.
You know what I'm saying? And do I need to be protected in that way? You know what I'm saying? Do I? Because your girl is good. You know what I'm saying? In certain ways. So, it's not going to be easy. And I don't know why people think that it is. And in no way, in none of these sessions and conversations that we are talking about, are we saying doing the work on yourself is going to be easy. If you're going to hear some stuff that you don't want to hear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Mati is fear of the unknown. People just get
I just
comfortable.
want us to be better as a people. We got great potential. We have some of the most intelligent men and women. We
Yes.
have some of the most influential men and women. But if we could put that energy in the right perspective and really try to heal our cultural dynamic, we could be
Yeah.
some powerful people.
Powerful. And it's no surprise that a lot of the systems that are in place have been put in place to keep us fighting amongst each other so that we cannot identify and realize our power as a community. Even just
That's
in
good.
one aspect, but all the aspects we are powerful. But let's just think about the one aspect of it, the financial aspect, the money that we spend
Yes.
on all of these, think about all the things you spend money on. You know what I'm saying? Like I got these curtains from oh God, I forgot the name of let's say it's from Amazon. We spend money on that. My husband got Nikes. My daughter, go and get certain hair supplies and all of these brands that we spend money on, but putting it in our own communities, we got to talk trash about these black businesses. Oh, their customer service ain't that good. Oh, I was trying to get a discount and pay full price for that black person's business.
Because
You
you
gonna
sure
take
ain't going to ask no other culture. You sure ain't going to
no,
go ask no other culture to give
no,
you.
you ain't gonna do it. You ain't gonna do it.
Y'all
You'll
want
go
them, y'all go get them Brazilian, what do they call them?
the
These lace
BBL.
fronts. Go spend BBLs too. You go get all this and spend all this. Do you know what we could do if we put our money together?
Huh? A lot, a lot, a lot. What 21 Savage said, a lot. What can we do?
We
A
making
lot.
the rich richer and the poor poor. That's all we doing.
And we kind of doing it to ourselves. We're doing it to ourselves
Right.
because we so busy fighting amongst each other that we're missing the main thing is that we are powerful people, and then we gotta once we realize that and like really monopolize on that. That's what they scared of. They scared of us getting together. They scared of us banding together and sticking together. But there's always gonna be somebody. There's always gonna be somebody that's gonna go tell all the secrets, and that's gonna go tell Massa and them because they are, um, they just want to be, don't even know they're a slave, and going and telling them all the things that they shouldn't be telling them instead of keeping it to themselves and keeping it in our community, in our culture. You know, I could say so much, but I'm not going to get into the politics and the things that's going on in social media right now. I'm just going to say we're going to end it here because it is 10:30. We at our 3-hour mark. We're going to get on off of
Yes.
here. We're gonna get on off of here, but definitely y'all make sure you post about the conversation. Use our hashtag conversations with the Shondas or the Shondas, and tag both Rashonda and I. This was part two, Keela. So yes.
Somebody asked for a part 3. Somebody
This,
asked for a part 3.
oh, they real scared. They real scared. Miss Celestine. Yes, brown nosing. That's what I was looking for, kid. My cousin Carrie. Yep. All right, y'all. Let's get on off here. We'll be back. Y'all get a break from us until Tuesday. Make sure y'all join us. We'll be on Rashonda's page going live. I know the numbers went back up. We were trying to get off at 9:30. It's now 10:30. Keela was so right. We done been on here a whole extra hour.
Blame it on the truck, Keela. Blame it on me getting in the truck.
And y'all, listen, all of these conversations, social media and your relationships, what I wish I knew about life, what were some other conversations that we had? Of course, this week was daddy issues and how it affects my adult life. What was last week? What did we talk about last week?
What did we talk about last week?
Let me look on the schedule. Because yes, y'all, we got a schedule. Last week, oh, blended families.
Oh, yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, blended family. All of these conversations, that we're having are things that we could talk about ad nauseum. We could talk about hours and hours and hours. We could really do this for hours. We could,
Right.
but we're gonna have some things coming up real soon, y'all. It's getting ready to be holiday season, Thanksgiving and Christmas. We got some really amazing things, and we're going to be able to talk a little bit more about some of these issues that we're not able to do in this particular platform the way that it is, but we absolutely want you guys to join us. So when we have things, whether it's virtual things or links and things like that, we want y'all to take part in that so that you can be in the know on things that are going on with the Shondas, okay?
One other thing I wanted to say, just wanted to recap real quick on the Entrepreneur Network Lounge that is going to be on the 17th at 7 p.m. I know, Mati, you have a business. Keela, I know you have a business. You ladies, I really want you all to partake. Georgina, me and you need to talk offline.
My cousin
Maybe me,
Carrie
you, and
has a business.
Shonda. Yeah, me, you, and Shonda might need to talk offline. I don't really want to talk about what it is, but it's in our area of expertise, if y'all following me.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I got an idea about something like that, but we'll come back to that. But the 17th, remember, those of you all that are going to come, bring your e-flyers, have your digital business cards, be ready to provide your email, whether it be personal or business email. If you got a business phone number, have all that stuff kind of packaged together, because this is very much so, a networking event. And you never know what services the Shondas may need, what services somebody else may need that is following us or supporting us. So make sure, even if you are aspiring to start a business, I encourage you to still come, because there's going to be a wealth of information. We talked about the business credit. Anybody that has a business or trying to start one, want to get it up and running, want to have funding for it, want to get your business credit going, this is where you need to be, okay? It is not going to be on Facebook. It is very much so a private, although the invite is on Facebook, it is not on Facebook. So make sure, if you want to partake and you know you want to partake, inbox me your email address so you can get the full link. It's on the event. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The link is pinned in the comment section, y'all. I pinned it in the comment section. So the link to that invite is there. So Carrie, you were asking about it. That's where it's at. It's pinned in this comment section.
Right.
Okay.
So that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah. So that's going to be a wonderful opportunity. And even if you don't have a business currently, but you're thinking about setting one up, you can still join and get the information. That way you can know how to do it before you even get started. Because there were some things when I set up my business that I wish I had in place before I did the LLC. So absolutely, that's going to be great information. Make sure you click that link in that pinned
Join
comment.
Terry.
Yeah.
Yeah, join Terry, because that right there, you would be in a good position to try to get some funding. And what this business credit webinar is going to do is give you the very high level overview of business credit information. But what I would like to do, based on the amount of people that come and take advantage of it, is set aside a group where we can all focus on our business credit together, and you got accountability people. So if you got questions, if I can't answer it, if Shonda can't answer it, there is an expert in that business area, in that business credit area, that we have access to, that you can get help. So I don't want to leave nobody behind. There's free money out there for those of us that have businesses, and I'm trying to get a hold to it. Okay?
Absolutely. All right. So that's good. So make sure y'all check this. For those of you who are watching the recording back, the link to Rashonda's invite is pinned in the comments. So make sure you take advantage of that. Stay tuned for anything else that we might have going on. Like I said, we have some things coming up. But good night, y'all. Good night.
Good
Thank
night,
y'all for
y'all.
tuning in. Good night.
All right. Bye-bye.